Visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Adam Roberts in for Vince Vitrano, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, July 29th. Our top story, a surprise escalation in the overseas conflict in Iran.
I'm Neil Doyle, in for Eric Bilstad. The Democratic gubernatorial candidates on the stage.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We got northbound 41 tightening up a bit between North Avenue and Burleigh, and that's pretty much it. Everything else around the rest of the system is looking pretty quiet. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, a little bit less humid today with the sun continuing. 80 degrees your high, clear tonight down to 64. Milwaukee right now at 62 degrees. Just before 6:01. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, some developments overnight in the ongoing war in Iran as U.S. forces across the Middle East now on high alert after a surprise attack by Iran, breaking a days-long pause in fighting.
U.S. Central Command says Iran fired multiple ballistic missiles, but says all Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted. Axios reports the target was a U.S. base in Jordan. The question now, how will the U.S. respond? In a separate escalation, U.S. and Saudi jets targeted sites in eastern Iraq, linked to Iranian-backed groups believed responsible for attacking Saudi oil facilities.
ABC's Sophie Flay reporting. We'll have more on this throughout the morning here on WTMJ.
Decision Wisconsin, public safety taking center stage during the only televised Democratic debate for Wisconsin's governor's race. All five of the candidates said they would not sign a state budget that cuts funding for law enforcement. State Representative Francesca Hong walked back some previous comments supporting defunding the police, saying she's focused on investing in both public safety and crime prevention. Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, who also faced some criticism over past remarks on policing during the 2022 Senate campaign, said departments need to fund and purchase body cameras, pointing to the recent police shooting in Madison. Barnes also taking aim at the Democratic establishment in his closing statement.
To everybody watching at home, I want you to know that the establishment is trying to rig this election. They want you to choose between their preferred candidate, and also Republican billionaires are lining up to the tune of $3.5 million to choose a Democratic nominee in this race. I'm here to say that's BS.
Again, the only televised debate aired last night on WISN 12 News, the primary coming up on August 11th.
Governor Tony Evers declaring a state of emergency after preliminary surveys indicate an EF3 tornado brought high winds and power outages as well as widespread damage to both Appleton and Menasha earlier this week. Mayor of Menasha, Austin Hammond, on Wisconsin's Midday News, says what the declaration means for his community.
We would want and need the aspects of the National Guard to be mobilized to help with different aspects of recovery here for the city of Menasha, Appleton, Neenah, Village of Fox Crossing. Helps with directing state agencies to work with us promptly and with direct response for recovery. And it just expedites a lot of the services that we might need in coordination with the state.
The EF3 twister touching down in the Fox Cities region Monday afternoon, cutting a roughly 12-mile path of destruction in just over 20 minutes on the ground.
A construction worker recovering after being hit by a car in Washington County.
A 48-year-old woman driving westbound on State Highway 60 crossed the center line last Friday and hit a 35-year-old man in an active work zone. The man was taken to the hospital for potentially life-threatening injuries. The woman then crashed into a home near Country Air and Highway 60. No one in the house was injured. The woman was taken to the hospital as a precaution. The crash is under investigation. Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
The city of Wauwatosa will be moving forward with the priciest city hall and library option it had before it. A vote 10-1 will continue with the $107 million building design. Alderwoman Melissa Dolan, the only one to oppose the idea on the Common Council.
I have not received one email or one positive phone call saying, yes, please vote yes. It's been a very long week and I want to put this behind me. So unfortunately, This evening, I find myself not in support of this.
The plan involves tearing down the current Civic Center and replacing it with new buildings.
As Milwaukee Public School students wrap up summer vacation, district leaders are finalizing plans to move hundreds of them to a new building after a devastating fire.
As a superintendent, you keep your phone on all night long and hope that you never get a call like this.
Milwaukee Public School Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalius is still processing the sudden loss of one of her elementary schools. Work is underway for about 500 Lincoln Avenue students to move into Pulaski High School.
We identified the space because it was enough space in the high school to house the elementary students separately, as well as keep the whole community together.
The first day of school is September 1st. John Mercier, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a brewery owner in Wisconsin fighting to keep the business open.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from Big Wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary.
Fee-only fiduciary really further separates the folks that either say fiduciary some of the time or best interests altogether. And it's not just that alone. It is, of course, everything else that we can bring to the table that this just isn't asset management. It is estate planning, tax planning, financial planning, all of it wrapped together in one transparent fee.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
You know, I mean, your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways. Mm-hmm. Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Now there's the offense. Sports at 6:15.
The state is taking steps to shut down operations at the Minocqua Brewing Company. The Wisconsin Department of Revenue has issued notices revoking brewers' permits for 2 Minocqua brewing locations, along with the company's warehouse permit. The DOR says the action stems from violations of Wisconsin alcohol beverage laws. Owner Kirk Bangstad, a liberal activist, outspoken critic of President Trump, also was planning to run for governor but failed to get on the Democratic ballot with enough signatures. He now has until August 4th to appeal. The brewery can continue operating while that appeal is moving forward.
Medicare recipients could be in for some sticker shock when they start shopping for next year's drug plan. The Part D prescription drug section of the program is about to lose a major source of funding.
Dr. Mehmet Oz heads Medicare and Medicaid services for President Trump and said in a social media post yesterday that federal subsidies to the Medicare Part D plan are going away at the end of the year because he says the insurers no longer need them. He said most Medicare recipients will see drug premiums rise by less than $10 a month next year, and that some will see their rates actually drop. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
For only the second time ever, the American Red Cross declaring a national blood crisis.
The situation has become acute. Blood donations have now fallen to a 4-year summer low, while hospital demand has increased. On Tuesday, the Red Cross reported less than 1 day of supply left for type O blood. The organization cited many factors for low donations, including illness and air quality. Only 3% of people in the U.S. donate blood for the rest of the country, so a few more people rolling up their sleeves could make a big difference. The Red Cross is urging all who are eligible in every blood type to make a donation. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:09.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors ranked first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geiss.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
6:10 on a Wednesday morning. Debbie Lozica, how's the drive kicking off today?
Yeah, it's quieting down, believe it or not. We have the delays between North Avenue and Burleigh have pretty much dissipated. They'll come back, don't worry. We have more of a quiet ride across the rest of the system. No other major incidents to slow you down. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. The cooler and quiet weather continues for our Wednesday. We got sunshine up above, and it'll feel less humid out there this afternoon. We'll look for high temperatures to climb into the lower 80s. Skies stay clear tonight as lows dip back into the mid-60s, and we'll see a little bit more cloud cover roll in on our Thursday. Warm and humid as high temperatures top out in the mid to upper 80s.
Milwaukee right now at 62.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Adam Roberts and Neil Doyle.
And a fantastic WTMJ Wednesday to you. Adam and Neil in once again for Vince and Eric. They'll be back on Monday. Lots to come today on the program. We, of course, will have plenty of reaction to last night's first and only Democratic gubernatorial debate held on Channel 12. Also keeping an eye on the nation's capital, where a familiar face is back on Capitol Hill later this morning.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Yes, when's the last time we've said the name Dr. Fauci? Seems like about 6 years ago. Dr. Fauci was inescapable from the headlines, daily briefings during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, Dr. Fauci will be testifying today by the Senate Homeland Security Committee after being subpoenaed. Dr. Fauci set to face off against a longtime critic of his, Senator Rand Paul, over how Fauci handled the pandemic. And he's been criticized by Senator Paul, obviously, before. What's different, though, this time, the senator now has excerpts of Dr. Fauci's diary.
6 years after the pandemic gripped the globe, new insight into the U.S. government's response. A Senate committee today is set to question Dr. Anthony Fauci, accusing the former head of the COVID response effort of misleading Americans about the source of the virus and lying to Congress, all which Fauci denies. He and his lawyers say the accusations are part of Republican Senator Rand Paul's personal vendetta against Fauci. Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
So that hearing coming up later today. Also
happening today.
Federal Reserve planning to meet, policymakers that is, and they'll be discussing interest rates. They are expected to hold those rates steady, although there is a chance they could be raised to combat inflation. Kind of been holding serve for the majority of this year, right around 3.75%. Checking the markets right now, still a couple of hours from the opening bell, kind of mixed, not a whole lot of gains, not a whole lot of losses. Potentially could dictate, though, this decision, how the markets fare later today. 6:13, got a lot to get to in sports. It's almost like the Brewers heard me talking smack about them being shut out on Monday. Well, no such shutout last night. We'll do that all coming up in just a bit.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
When your car or truck needs service,
you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mecca, Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Get an oil change at Safety Inspection for trouble-free summer driving.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Football is back.
Ooh, that's 4 syllables.
No, it is. No, it is 4 syllables.
Contraction. Use a contraction.
Darn it.
Football's back.
Football's back.
Football's back.
Yes, it is.
It is back. Training camp starts today for the Green Bay Packers. They will take the practice field 10:30 this morning at Ray Nitschke Field to begin preparations for the upcoming season. You know, we've been talking Packers training camp all week, Adam. You know, we heard from Jason Wilde yesterday, like, look, maybe there's not a lot of positional battles kind of going into camp this year, which is kind of typically the case when you go into a training camp, but maybe the biggest one would be the kicking competition. Packers announcing yesterday they have released Lucas Havrisik, who set a franchise record last year with a 61-yard field goal. They have signed Lenny Krieg of Germany. So Krieg comes in, and of course the Packers during the draft this past April drafted Trey Smack in the 6th round.
Great name, by the way.
Maybe a bit of a kicking competition. I think Wilde told us yesterday, look, it should be Smack, but we'll see what happens here over the next month. So maybe that's the kind of biggest positional battle storyline we'll watch as camp starts to unfold. Now, before practice as well, General Manager Brian Gutekunst will meet with the media. First time we'll hear from him since the draft in April.
We're looking at that from a lot of different angles to make sure that we're playing our best football in December and January. I think that hasn't been the case the last 2 years, and it's really imperative that through process and people that we make sure that we take a long look at that.
I mean, that was obviously the big storyline throughout the offseason. You know, the Packers, how they kind of flamed out in the playoffs last year, some of their struggles late in the year and into the postseason. So something they're trying to address. So we'll hear from Goody just before practice gets underway at 10:30 this morning up in Green Bay. Looking forward to it.
Brewers getting a rubber match later today after taking game 2 of their 3-game set in the Bay Area over the Giants. It was a shutout Monday night. No such problem on Tuesday.
The 0-1. Fly ball into the gap. Right center field into some wide open spaces. It hits off the base of the fence on a hop. 1 run in. Vaughn motoring around third. Relay to the plate. Close. Head first slide. He's safe. And Laura's at third base with a 2-run triple.
Josh Mauer with the call. That 3-bagger would make it 7-0 at that point. Only a Bryce Eldridge 2-run shot after the Giants were too far behind. 8-2 the final. Also solid night for Logan Henderson on the mound. Had a lengthy first, but he would get out of it with a final strikeout in the frame. He'd finish 5 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, striking out 7. As for that offense, after, again, a tough go of it Monday, manager Pat Murphy impressed with the bounce back done in classic Woodpecker fashion.
It was contact, putting balls in play, and just staying relentless. It was really good offensive performance.
So again, that rubber match this afternoon. Some day baseball out in the Bay Area. Coverage from Oracle Park will get started at 2:10 here on WTMJ. And then also, don't forget, we are less than a week away until the MLB trade deadline. The Brewers with that second best record in baseball and a pretty stacked farm system. So buyers or sellers, what's it going to be, Matt Arnold?
The ingredients are there to make a trade, but will Brewers president of baseball operations Matt Arnold pull the trigger?
Matt Arnold has always done something to help this club when they are, in contention like they are.
Brewers.com writer Adam McCalvey says making a move for 2-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Tarek Skubal is easier said than done.
Making trades like that are incredibly costly, but they're at least open to it from what we hear, and they are looking to be more aggressive than maybe in recent years. Doesn't guarantee a deal, though.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Nothing in life is guaranteed, after all. The trade deadline is August 3rd. That's next Monday, 5 p.m. our time. 6:18, got to look at the roads. We'll have your forecast, and I want to hear from you, our WTMJ fans. If you watched last night's 1-hour Democratic gubernatorial debate on Channel 12, give me your Insta reacts. Who do you think won? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Format, anything you thought about the debate. Want to hear from you on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. We'll break it down straight ahead.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Hey everybody, Debbie Loziga here, and every morning I talk about traffic backups and slowdowns around Milwaukee. It's kind of my gig. At Sewer Ninjas, they help homeowners avoid a different kind of backup, a sewer backup. It's kind of their gig. Sewer Ninjas is a Wisconsin family-owned company specializing in sewer camera inspections, drain cleaning, and trenchless repairs that can often be completed without tearing up your yard. Their goal is simple: find problems early and help homeowners avoid costly surprises. Learn more at sewerninjas.com. That's sewerninjas.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
6:21, Debbie Loziga. Nothing to debate here. The drive right now looking pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Those delays, northbound 41 came back, but they're mainly between Burleigh and Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 is just starting to tighten up a little bit coming out of the stadium interchange towards Hawley Road. The rest of the area looking pretty quiet. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Going to be a little bit less humid today. A pretty pleasant day in store for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny, 80 the high, 64 your overnight low. Enjoy the lack of humidity today because it's back tomorrow. 86 and partly cloudy, then rain likely on Friday, 80. Early rain Saturday, 75. Back to sun on your Sunday. Milwaukee right now at 62 degrees. Adam and Neil with you on a Wednesday morning, a post-debate Wednesday. I think it was Marshall Mathers who famously said, "You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow." And the only one shot for the Dems was last night, all five of them taking the stage. Matt Smith, Jaron Jordan, the moderators for last night's 1-hour debate. And we'll get into some of the content contained within in a sec. But on that format, Neil, first of all, shout out to Matt and Jaron. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. You've got 5 candidates on stage, 60 minutes, and you have to try to be getting everyone the same amount of time, give everyone a chance to respond. More on that in a moment, but it's not an easy feat, and Matt and Jaron are kind of forming into a preeminent duo when it comes to handling these sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, especially with, again, 5 candidates up there, so moving things along and just kind of, piecing it all together, and right, because at the end of the day, and they even said before, last night's debate, the goal is to have these candidates answer questions that voters are interested in and want to know before they head to the polls. And so moving that along and trying to hit as many topics as possible is certainly a tall task.
So we often have to break down winners and losers. It's kind of mandatory, I feel like. My initial read on it was, well, first of all, can I say, am I going to get in trouble if I say the debate content was a little... I mean, I was maybe hoping for a few more fireworks, maybe a little jab, maybe a little poke, prod. There was really none of that until the very, very, very end when the former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes had a little bit of a barb towards David Crowley, didn't say it by name.
Right.
There really was no direct call-out by names at all from any of the candidates.
Which I found interesting. Now, I mean, you and I were saying too, Was that strategy because everybody's kind of trying to, play it down the middle for the most part? But, again, we've said in all this polling that's come out over the last handful of months and even as recently as last week, and we'll get a new poll today again from Marquette, Francesca Hong has been leading this field. Really, none of the other candidates, when they had an opportunity last night to maybe kind of go at her, they decided not to.
And there were some windows for them to potentially do that on a couple of key topics I'll get here in just a sec. But I would agree. I think, and I was saying to you beforehand, the game plan for the Hong team was, let's just get through. You're going to face some scrutiny. You're going to potentially get those the barbs. They never came. But let's just get through it. Say what you got to say. Hold serve. And if we get through unscathed largely, then the path to August 11th victory seems pretty clear. I think just by not mucking up her chances, she did exactly that. And as far as the rest of the field, I mean, it's kind of just a little bit of a mix. Now, on Hong, she was pressed by the media. Actually, it was a pretty large gaggle. I noticed that, too. We had WTMJ teammate Elizabeth Montemurro at the debate, and the gaggle around Hong was pretty large. Every other candidate was not. It wasn't that big of a gaggle around them at all. And during that gaggle, Hong was pressed a bit on her stance on public safety, particularly as she seemed to walk back a bit when pressed on previous calls to defund police departments across the state, seemed to walk that back pretty considerably.
As governor, that we want to make sure that we're prioritizing public safety, and I believe that those types of bills that could include more investment in the things that we know prevent crime. If you want to be tough on crime, you better be tough on the causes.
Hong also responding to a question, I believe it was Matt who posed this to the candidates when it comes to tax brackets and potentially creating a fifth one for earners in the state who make over $1 million, that $1,000,000th. She said she would only add a 1% hike, but this comes after she's made multiple comments on creating a fifth bracket at a rate of 17.7%. The current highest rate, I believe, is about 7.6% in the state in that fourth bracket. So that's a pretty sizable difference and something that many were quick to fact check her on, even during the debate.
Yeah, that was something that I saw quite a few people on social media kind of talking about that point. But again, just kind of going back to her walking back maybe some of her previous comments on law enforcement and funding of police. Again, was that kind of a strategy last night to, again, kind of play more down the middle and not, again, as she has been the front runner, not give, if she is going to move on in this primary, give Tom Tiffany any fuel? I don't know. Was that part of the strategy? That was kind of some of my thought.
Possibly. I did note at the very beginning she was pressed on her connection to the Democratic Socialists of America. That's her moniker, but she distanced herself from the National Party, which has not endorsed her in this race. They haven't offered any endorsement, but that's obviously what the Tiffany campaign is going to be leaning on. I also found it interesting, immediately after the debate ended, in that little commercial window before Will Trent, because you got to get to Will Trent at 8 o'clock. Let's go. That Republican Governors Association ad calling Hong out as too liberal for Wisconsin, et cetera, was played. And now they've spent millions of dollars on that ad. They're going to get their TV space for sure. But I did note that was pretty quick after the debate had aired. As far as those other candidates, I did say, they had their opportunities to make their case. Didn't seem like they took any attacks against Hong, and everyone on social media said no, none of that group was a winner. But if you ask them afterwards,
I feel great.
Feeling really good post-debate. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling really good.
Least shocking news possibly of all time.
Everyone's feeling good.
We'll have more on the debate throughout the show. We'll get some reaction from some of our teammates here at WTMJ, and also J.R. Ross, Swiss Politics, joining us at 7:20. News about your money, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is off just a couple percentage points, tenth of a percent in the futures. The NASDAQ and S&P with slight gains. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered flexible hours, competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston, missiles flying again in the Middle East. CENTCOM says it shot down several missiles fired from Iran. Jordan says it intercepted missiles as well. This after several days of a pause in the fighting and after President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met 5 months after the war began.
Netanyahu later described their Oval Office sit-down as excellent. He said it was a conversation of full partnership, of mutual support. He actually described it as one of the best conversations he's had with President Trump. The White House, in a very brief statement from Caroline Leavitt, said that it was a positive and productive meeting.
That's ABC's Mary Bruce. Search teams in Japan still trying to find survivors after the strong earthquake that hit the southern part of the country. At least 13 people are confirmed dead, but that number is expected to go up. Trump administration set to stop subsidies for Medicare Part D that could push premiums for the prescription coverage up as much as $20 a month. This is ABC News.
Things moving along pretty well. We do have a little bit of a backup. Westbound 94 heading through the stadium interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41 now starting to slow down from North Avenue all the way to Capitol Drive. Southbound side's pretty clear at this point, and 43 is looking good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny, bit less humid today. A high of 80, though that humidity will be back for your Thursday. Clear tonight, down to 64 for the low. Milwaukee right now at 63 degrees, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it is Decision Wisconsin Public Safety taking center stage during the Democratic gubernatorial debate Tuesday night. State Representative Francesca Hong was asked by moderators about her past comments on defunding police departments and whether or not she would support cutting police funding as governor. Hong saying that is not her approach.
The governor cannot defund police, and I'm not here to govern by slogan. I'm here to make sure that I am the governor that is most serious about public safety, and that means investing in the things that we know prevent crime, and getting resources to victims, and ensuring that the people who are incarcerated and the folks who are working in our prisons are able to live a life of dignity and work with dignity.
Audio courtesy of WISN 12 News. Hong says preventing crime means investing in schools, mental health resources, and efforts to combat the opioid epidemic.
Thomas Farley unanimously approved as interim Waukesha County executive, the former lead attorney for the county, taking the place of Paul Farrow, who died earlier this month after a nearly 2-year battle with a rare cancer. Farley will serve in this role until the countywide special election is held in mid-December.
That EF3 tornado that hit the Fox Valley Monday afternoon, transforming entire blocks.
The monster twister that tore through Menasha created a new reality that's almost impossible to comprehend. Homes ripped apart, cars flipped, trees snapped.
I am very saddened to see so many in our community struggling right now.
Menasha Mayor Austin Hammond tells Wisconsin's Midday News he's incredibly grateful there are minimal injuries and no known deaths, but the city's road to recovery will be a long one.
It is heartbreaking to see the destruction that this severe storm and tornado have caused on home, personal property, infrastructure, public spaces, businesses. My heart goes out to everybody.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Leaders in Wauwatosa moving forward with a plan to build a new city hall and library complex. The $107 million project getting passed with a 10-1 vote last night. Alderman Joe Phillips.
I think we just really need to be clear about the choice here. It's not a spend versus save. We're going to spend either way. The question is whether we spend to patch a building that no longer serves this community or whether we invest in one that will.
Again, that project totaling just around $107 million. Construction would begin next year.
A driver crashing into a home after hitting an on-duty construction worker in Washington County.
Just make sure that the house is standing fine. Obviously, we'll do a structural assessment.
An audio from Broadcastify. 48-year-old woman was driving on State Highway 60, then crossed the center line last week Friday, hitting a 35-year-old man in an active work zone. That man in the hospital with potentially life-threatening injuries. The woman then crashing into a home near County A and Highway 60. No one in the house was reported injured. That woman in the hospital as a precaution. The crash still under investigation.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom, all done in-house. And that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
The world's most iconic landscapes are yours to explore with Fox World Travel and Globus. Imagine tasting your way through historic Italy, witnessing the breathtaking waterfalls and glaciers of Iceland, or relaxing on the tropical shores of beautiful Hawaii. With Globus, you get premium expert-led itineraries and VIP access to major sites, while we handle every travel detail for you. Book your next great adventure today. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
The wait is almost over. It is training camp day in Titletown. Sports at 6:45.
There certainly have been a lot of questions, but not many answers revolving around longtime Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, his health. He hasn't been seen in a number of weeks. So it's led to a lot of questions. And again, not many answers from his office. And now we've got the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear. He has come out this week demanding again even more answers as to where Senator McConnell has been. A little bit more here from the Hill's Blake Burnham.
In letters to McConnell and the Senate Majority Leader John Thune, the governor writes in part, quote, "I am calling on you to directly and verbally address the people of Kentucky and provide proof of your capacity to serve or resign." Governor Beshear goes on to say that if McConnell does not, the Kentucky governor will insist the Senate Majority Leader investigate McConnell's condition.
So Senator McConnell's office did send out an update, I believe it was Monday of this week, and it was just a statement. It basically said, quote, he's working hard to return, but they did not provide a timeline on when that could happen. Now, of course, McConnell is 84 years old. He's had recent, it seems like, health problems. I mean, we've seen a couple of incidents at the Capitol. He's fallen once or twice. And again, now we've not seen him. I think it's been like 3 to 4, almost a month where he's not been seen in public. So, I mean, it's led to a ton of speculation online. I mean, I've seen crazy, people posting conspiracy theories. But again, his office says he's trying to return, but have not really heard a definitive answer as to when we might see him again.
And this is going to be tricky because the default defense for McConnell's team is going to be HIPAA, HIPAA, HIPAA. Like, what do you want us to do? That's health information. But you also run into, on the flip side, public figure, person who is representing Kentuckians. They should be able to get answers. You would think in just about any other case, it's a no-brainer. So that dichotomy is really interesting to watch here. But at some point, something has to give. 6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Welcome to another episode of The Human Advantage, where we explore the latest employee growth and hiring trends and how your company and your career can take advantage. Brought to you by LAK Group, who helps companies and professionals harness their true potential. Joined by Mike Grubich, president of LAK. Mike, it's often stated that people don't leave companies, they leave managers. I've heard you tell me that so many times. So when we talk about turnover, a lot of roads lead back to the front line and the mid-level leader, don't they?
They really do, Vince. Those leaders are the day-to-day interaction with the employees in the workforce. They set expectations, they give feedback, they coach people for performance. Sometimes they don't. But when they're not equipped, they just can't have the impact on the people and the productivity with their team.
Okay, so what should companies be doing differently with these managers?
With these managers, they got to do more training in general. They don't tend to invest enough with that group, and it can't just be these one-off type of learnings. We've designed a practical and engaging learning experience for frontline and middle-level leaders that brings them practical tools that they can go back to the workforce or the frontline and use on a day-to-day basis. We layer in coaching, we layer in different AI tools, but we help them with very practical experience.
Let's dive into that a little further. What does that look like in practice?
Think of bite-sized learning plus live coaching and other tools to help them take things back to the front line and use it. A manager might learn a new way to run one-on-one meetings, practice it in a session, get feedback from a coach, and then go try it in the workplace. It's interactive, it's relevant, and it's very practical for those frontline leaders.
And then, of course, companies are looking for a return on investment. There's one here, right?
Absolutely. When frontline and middle-level leaders get better, we see improved performance, reduced turnover, and increased engagement.
That's powerful stuff, Mike. If your organization wants to build a stronger pipeline of frontline and middle-level leaders, head to transformingcareers.com and learn more about LAK Group's leadership development programs.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top-quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
6:41 on a Wednesday morning. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads?
Not too bad. We do have one broken down vehicle, 894 westbound, right about at 84th Street. It is off on the left shoulder, so might be in a little bit of a weird spot. You want to be extra careful heading past that. Westbound 94 is tightening up through the Stadium interchange from about 35th Street to Hawley Road. Northbound is slowing down from Mayfair Road past Burleigh. Southbound's going to be slowing down as well from Silver Spring down to Burleigh. Otherwise, everything else looks pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. The cooler and quiet weather continues for our Wednesday. We got sunshine up above, and it'll feel less humid out there this afternoon. We'll look for high temperatures to climb into the lower 80s. Skies stay clear tonight as lows dip back into the mid-60s, and we'll see a little bit more cloud cover roll in on our Thursday. Warm and humid as high temperatures top out in the mid to upper 80s.
Milwaukee right now at 63.
Well, a couple of chances this week for Milwaukee residents to weigh in on the city's next budget before Mayor Cavalier Johnson unveils his spending plan this fall.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So the mayor is hosting what he calls budget hearing open houses. One of these will be tonight over at Zablocki Library. That's from 5 to 7 this evening. And then tomorrow night, also 5 to 7 p.m. at Atkinson Library. That's when these open houses will happen. This will give residents an opportunity to, what the mayor says, help shape the city's 2027 budget.
You know how I know about this even outside of being the news? Because my cell phone has been hit with auto texts from someone I'm assuming is in the mayor's office and just auto hitting send on this. And I've gotten about 3 of them like, hey, reminder, this is coming up soon. Don't forget.
So this is the opportunity, again, for the public to weigh in. And Mayor Johnson says public input, very important. He says a lot of people, they misunderstand how much of Milwaukee's roughly $2 billion budget is actually available for city services. The mayor actually put a video out kind of highlighting the process and says nearly a quarter of that money pays for self-supporting utilities like water and sewer services. Hundreds of millions more are committed to pensions, debt, and then other required expenses as well.
Now, here's the hard part. In 2027, we're expecting a $96 million gap that has to be closed. Every year, by law, this budget has to balance real decisions, real consequences.
So this is the opportunity. Now, look, I'm not trying to be a cheerleader for the mayor or for the city, but when then people in the fall, when the budget gets proposed and you have people come out, oh, they want to cut this, or why is this not included? This is your opportunity tonight and tomorrow, these public sessions where you can say, look, here's what I think the city should be spending money on. Here's what we need. This is your opportunity to weigh in. So these budget open houses happening tonight and tomorrow.
I'll also say this. We hear a lot from people who only find out about hearings after they happened, but also the hearings that are always at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. on a Wednesday. Right. And like, who are you expecting when you want the general public to come? Who are you expecting to go? People can't go over their lunch break for something like this. So the fact that it's at 5 to 7, that seems like a decent window for people to attend. So don't say we didn't tell you. 6:45.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first softwave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
A whole day dedicated to you. YOU, the WTMJ fan. Come celebrate WTMJ Day with us, your favorite WTMJ hosts. I know I'm a little biased. A private tailgate coming up the Brewers game Saturday, August 29th. We'll have food, drinks, the whole shebang. You also get to hang out with us, plus tickets to the Brewers game as they take on the Texas Rangers that day at American Family Field. More information, you can secure your tickets at WTMJday.com. Also, if you want to make it super easy for yourself, just text tailgate to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. You'll get all the details right to you, and tickets will go fast, so make sure to sign up pronto, ASAP, right now, today. We'll see you at the ballpark for WTMJ Day, Saturday, August 29th, sponsored by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, with catering courtesy of Leff's Lucky Town.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The wait is over. Green Bay Packers officially opening up training camp today at Ray Nitschke Field, so a lot of excitement. It's kind of been the lead up this week in the Green Bay area. You had the shareholders meeting on Monday, and now practice officially starts this morning. Now, there doesn't seem like there's going to be too many positional battles, at least from what some of the Packers reporters and insiders have said, but maybe there is one shaping up. Packers announcing yesterday they have released kicker Lucas Havrisek, and now they have signed Lenny Krieg, who is a German-born kicker, spent part of last season within the Falcons organization. Some people wondering, okay, does this create a competition? Now, they did draft Trey Smack in the 6th round, kicker in the NFL draft this past April. I think a lot of people just assume Trey Smack is going to get that job. It's not often maybe you draft a kicker.
And we were talking with Lori Nickel yesterday, and she said if you're making that pick in that round for that position, that is an indication that you're going to be on the active roster. I thought it would be a little odd to have 3, maybe 4 kickers in camp, but we were talking with Jason Wilde yesterday, too. I don't even think he mentioned Lenny Krieg at all by name. I don't think he was assuming that this move was coming. Maybe a little bit of an eyebrow raiser on training camp eve.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of competing for that kicking job. We will hear from General Manager Brian Gutekunst before the players take the field this morning. First time we'll hear from him since the draft in April. Also officially, I know we talked about there was kind of that air on the physically unable to perform list, the players that are not ready to go yet for training camp due to injuries. One of those being Micah Parsons. He is now officially on the list. They put him on the list yesterday. So Micah's still kind of gearing up before he can return back. Practice beginning this morning at 10:30.
Brewers offense showing out Tuesday night in the Bay Area. They bounced back from the shutout Monday to beat the Giants Tuesday night 8-2. Logan Henderson on the mound. Rocky start in the first, but when it mattered most, he locked in.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Logan Henderson battled through a scoreless bottom of the first inning. It's his second strikeout of the inning and strands a pair of giants.
Lane Grindle there. After that, Henderson pretty solid. 5 2/3 innings, just 2 hits allowed, no runs, struck out 7 on a career-high 93 pitches. Brewers and Giants going at it in the rubber match this afternoon. We'll have coverage starting at 2:10 here on WTMJ. Also some pretty cool stuff. So obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo, now a member of the Miami Heat. But as the news was breaking in late June, our friends at ESPN Milwaukee taking initiative, and at Summerfest, if you were at the ESPN Milwaukee tent, you may have seen a microphone out there, and you may have been asked to leave a message for Giannis on his way out of town.
I just want to tell Giannis I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you, Giannis.
I have been watching the Bucks since I was a little girl, and you brought so much excitement to our city. Thank you for all you've done. We will miss you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
That video pieced together by our team over at 94.5 and delivered to Giannis.
Obviously, I have a new chapter ahead of me, the Miami Heat. And I'm going to make the best out of it. But Milwaukee will always be my home. And obviously, when I see videos like that, I think it makes me emotional. Don't cry because it's over. Laugh, smile because it happened.
Raw reaction from Giannis, and he has said whenever this chapter in Miami is over, he's leaving the door open, which is just probably a smart move to do, but leaving it open to a maybe return. So chapter 2 to be determined. 6:51.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
The only thing better than a ball game on a warm summer evening? The tailgate. Calling all fans. Saturday, August 29th is WTMJ Day. Our tailgate outside American Family Field. Come meet the WTMJ team before the Brewers take on the Rangers. WTMJ Day is presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, also catered by Left's Lucky Town. For more information, head to WTMJ.com or text WTMJ to 855-616-1620.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox & Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good Karma brand station.
6:53. Let's get right to Debbie Loziga. Trouble on 894.
Oh, yeah. Trouble on 894. Looks like we do have a rollover crash. It is on the northbound side, just south of Beloit Road 4 lanes are blocked, if not more. They may have to close off the freeway for a bit. Again, this is on the northbound side of 894, just before you get to Beloit Road. So just be extra careful getting through there, or maybe better yet, avoid the area. There are alternate routes like Highway 100 or maybe 92nd Street, etc. Other than that, as far as delays are concerned, we've got delays from 35th Street to Hawley Road, eastbound on 90. That was on westbound 94. Eastbound on 94, we got delays coming out of the stadium interchange to 35th. Southbound 41 now starting to back up from Silver Spring all the way to Burleigh, northbound from Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny, less humid today. 80 the high, clear 64 tonight. Humidity returns on Thursday, partly cloudy and 86. Milwaukee right now at 63 degrees. Yeah, we got a visual on this right now. Debbie mentioning that rollover crash. This is a very inopportune time for this to happen, and I've got a visual on it right now thanks to our friends at the Department of Transportation. Deb, this has the potential to be pretty significant, and as we're getting into the 7 o'clock hour, this is going to be a real tough artery to get through. I think Deb might be working on some other
Doesn't look
reports
like, the video I'm watching that we're got here in the studio, car is flipped on its roof. Looks like there's another car on the shoulder. Doesn't look like crews are quite on the scene yet, so traffic certainly moving very slow through that stretch, and hopefully everybody's okay, but certainly going to be a problem.
Yeah, we'll stay on top of this, of course, throughout the morning. We'll see if this turns into a full closure. There is still traffic being able to move through, and I actually do see now possibly a sheriff's motorcycle arriving on scene. So we'll stay on top of this for you here on WTMJ throughout the morning. Bit of a hard pivot now. Speaking of driving, I was wondering when this was going to come out. And I was wondering if the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office was going to try to get ahead of this, considering the high-profile nature. What am I talking about? Remember last week we reported that former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and Burlington, Wisconsin native Tony Romo was arrested for suspicion of operating while intoxicated. This was on I-43 just south of downtown on the high-rise bridge in Milwaukee. I believe that was Thursday, if I remember. So Tony Romo was in the state competing in an amateur golf championship up in West Bend. And now we are seeing that body camera footage, which has just now been made available by the sheriff's office.
Where are you coming from?
The golf course. And I'm going to meet Grandma and Grandpa.
So that audio there from the sheriff's department, a little bit hard to hear because, again, they're on the high-rise bridge. This is in the evening hours when this arrest happened. So it's during the day. There's cars zipping by. The officer saying that Romo had been veering, passing on the right. Ultimately, he would be taken to a different location. So they wanted to perform a field sobriety test, but when you're on a bridge like that, and especially it's right by the stack near Jones Island, so you're kind of going on a downward slant anyway. So you don't have a level ground. Obviously, you want to have a nice flat surface for this. So the video then transitions to Romo at a separate facility. He was asked by the deputy about prior head injuries as well.
Any head injuries?
Excuse me?
Any head injuries recently? Any concussions?
Well, over the years, yes, but not recently. No, we're good.
I had to think about that for a second. This is going to be very interesting to see how Romo and his team responds. Did not perform the breathalyzer, was asked, and then when he refused, was then cited. We now know that citation is part of public record. He will be back in court, or can go to court, in September for this, but multiple times on the video you hear him say, the lawyers tell me this, the lawyers tell me that. Asked to make a phone call, was not allowed to do so by the deputy. So there's going to be some legal parsing, I think, Neil, that happens with this.
Yeah, I think as well. It came out, I believe his legal team is planning to kind of challenge the citation, which is not surprising. But depending on how this shakes out, he could lose his license. So we'll see what happens.
That could be up to a year, I think. And keep in mind, he is employed right now as a broadcaster for CBS. We got the NFL season not too far away. So how does that all shake out with this? Romo, at least publicly right now, staying pretty mum on everything. He would later withdraw from a separate golf tournament he's attended for years in Texas that's separate from the Wisconsin Amateur that he was in town for last week. So this is a bit of a developing story. And again, I was wondering, because sometimes, at least with MPD, it takes a minute for body cam. I think they have 17 days or something in that window to wait. But we're less than a week out from this. So public figure maybe played a role in this. we'll stay on top of it for you. 6:58, top of the hour news, straight ahead on WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Old Republic Risk Management could soon swap its longtime Brookfield office for a new $60 million headquarters on Executive Drive as the city weighs public incentives to keep the insurer in Wisconsin. The Medical College of Wisconsin has broken ground on its first on-campus student housing complex, 266-unit development set to open in 2028. Milwaukee is moving forward with a plan to lease about 50,000 square feet of the former Midtown Center Walmart for $1 annually, as the city looks to transform the vacant space into a community hub. I'm Juan Lasso with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Summer always starts with good intentions.
Kids home from school, weekend trips, more time outside.
But somehow the house is in complete chaos by June.
That's why summer is the perfect time to get organized with Inspired Closets.
We create custom solutions for garages, pantries, laundry rooms, and more so your home works better for real life.
And when everything has a place, summer feels a whole lot less stressful.
Visit us today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets,
a wife and husband team.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
We're proud to call downtown Milwaukee our home for over a century. I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. As one of downtown's largest employers, Baird has a deep dedication to the community here. You could say we're invested in downtown's success.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Save big money on your next project when you shop at Menards. Tackle your toughest jobs with GE Pro Seal Max. It's a durable sealant that's perfect for window, door, and siding projects. It's paintable, water ready immediately, and stands up to the harshest weather conditions. Shop our selection of GE sealants in-store and on Menards.com. Plus, check out the weekly flyer to view all of our other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scafidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
The road leads west. Next stop, San Francisco.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He strikes out the side in the fourth. Strikeout number 11 for Jacob Mizorowski. Stand and applaud.
The Brewers take on the Giants today at Oracle Park. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 2:10 on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:02, I'm Adam Roberts. It's Wisconsin's Morning News, Wednesday, July 29th. Let's head right over to Debbie Lozica for the latest on this rollover crash, 894 northbound. Looks like we've got plenty of responders now on scene, and cones, Deb, are going out.
It's a big mess on 894 northbound. Just before you get to Beloit Road, we have this rollover crash, and we have the 3 left lanes blocked. 1 lane really of traffic available to you. Barrels or cones are out to try and help with the traffic control, but an ambulance, lots of emergency crews on the scene with this. So let's give them a wide berth and take it easy heading past that scene. At this point, westbound 894 is definitely being affected. We've got delays from 76th Street all the way through the Hale up to that point. Also on the Rock Freeway, northbound is backing up from Highway 100 through the Hale up to that point. Elsewhere on the system, southbound 41 backing up from Silver Spring all the way past Capitol Drive. Northbound, just pockets of heavy traffic between Burleigh and Capitol. Westbound 94's got some backups from 35th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound is slowing down coming out of the Stadium interchange passing 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, mostly sunny, less humidity today, 80 degrees your high, clear and 64 overnight. Milwaukee right now at 64 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, other developing story we're following this morning, Saudi Arabia joining in with the U.S. and Israel in military strikes against Iran. This after a surprise attack by Iranian forces overnight. The announcements coming after the short-lived truce between the U.S. and Iran appears to now be over. News Nation's Corey Smith.
Central Command says Iran fired multiple ballistic missiles at U.S. forces in the Middle East. All of those missiles, according to CENTCOM, successfully intercepted. According to the War Department, there have been more than 600 attempted attacks on U.S. personnel in Iraq by Iran-backed militias. Remember, it was a little more than a week ago when multiple soldiers were killed. U.S. forces busy, too, conducting joint strikes with Saudi Arabia on Iranian-backed terrorists in eastern Iraq. CENTCOM says it hit multiple logistics and weapon sites.
The conflict with Iran, which President Trump originally said would last 4 to 6 weeks, is now entering its 6th month. We'll get the latest from ABC's Karen Travers coming up at 7:10.
Decision Wisconsin, with the primary now less than 2 weeks away. All 5 Democratic gubernatorial candidates appearing for a televised debate last night on WISN 12 News. 2 of those candidates pushing back on the idea that voters would be wasting their ballots by supporting them.
During Tuesday night's debate, Joel Brennan and Kelda Royce, both polling in the single digits, were asked whether voters should back someone else. Brennan says his experience sets him apart.
I served as the top appointee to Governor Evers. We created the largest budget surplus in state history. The challenge I have had is that people don't know me as well as they know some other candidates around the state.
Royce says she's ready to govern on day one.
I am the candidate in this race that brings the most experience in and around state government. I've been the candidate that has turned progressive ideas into law. That kind of experience is absolutely essential.
The winner of the August Democratic primary will likely face Republican Congressman Tom Tiffany in November. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
At least 13 people confirmed dead after that powerful earthquake rocking southern Japan yesterday. The Japanese public broadcaster NHK cites remarks from the Japanese Prime Minister.
Japan is fairly used to this, so this is contained compared to what we might see if they weren't this prepared. At the same time, the Japanese Prime Minister has come out and said that everyone should be worried or caution about aftershocks in the coming days, and warning that there's still a fear that there could be more buildings collapsing, landslides, that kind of thing.
That's ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clennon on the Start Here podcast. Meanwhile, search efforts continue as 3 more people are believed to be missing inside of a shopping mall that collapsed.
City services still at a standstill in Menasha after that tornado devastated the Fox Valley earlier this week. Mayor Austin Hammond on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The power is out everywhere, but on the outskirts of the community, there's a lot open and a lot that is accessible. And we've worked collaboratively with many entities to have shelters that are up and running to provide meals and water and a cool place to be and a place to charge your phone during these difficult times.
A boil water order still in effect for portions of Menasha and the Fox Crossing.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:06. News is brought to you by Margle Media, digital marketing done right.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Light It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973 and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. The best time to plan a funeral is when you don't have to. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
Training camp day and the Brewers bounce back. Sports at 7:15.
Almost 500 Milwaukee students are preparing to start the school year in a new building after Lincoln Avenue School burned to the ground last month.
Fortunately, no one was injured when the 5-alarm fire destroyed Lincoln Avenue in June. There were no sprinklers in the building. MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalius would like to retrofit buildings with sprinklers, but that can be cost prohibitive.
It would be anywhere from $1 million to $2 million per school to outfit. We have 139 schools, so you can imagine how much money it would cost to outfit the schools with sprinklers. So there's no plans to do that now.
The average MPS building is 85 years old. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:10.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Energy efficient, easier to clean, amazing insulation, and just fantastic windows. Siding Unlimited has proven to be the choice for windows and doors. This is Eric Brown with Aaron Brown. We're brothers and owners of our family business, Siding Unlimited.
We figured out long ago that the right product, installed the right way, delivers the best experience for our customers. For 32 years, our experience shows on every job.
32 years, and Siding Unlimited continues to lead the industry. The secret, and Aaron just said it, our experience. From start to finish, the Siding Unlimited team knows how to deliver for our customers a quality window and door install.
Trust the local, family-operated Siding Unlimited to be the company of choice for your next window project. Proven to be the best by earning Pella's prestigious Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times.
Siding Unlimited. Experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Call Siding Unlimited at 262-567-4513 or visit sidingunlimited.com today.
7-Eleven, Debbie Lazaga, we've got continued issues on 894 with this rollover situation.
Yep, that's pretty much what it is. We've got northbound on 894, just before you get to Beloit Road, right about at Howard Avenue. We do have the 3 left lanes blocked with a car on its roof. And only 1 lane of traffic available to you to get through there. So obviously we're seeing some big delays through the hail in all directions. Westbound 894 is slowing down from about 60th Street to that point. Then we've also got northbound of the Rock Freeway slowing down. The backup's starting to get closer to the county line all the way into the hail as well. So just try and stay away from that area. That would be your best bet at this point. Southbound 41, a little bit tight right past Silver Spring to Hampton. Again, from Capitol Drive to Burleigh. Northbound's cleared up pretty nicely so far. Westbound 94, you got some backups from 35th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
7:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News, continuing to follow the latest developments overseas as U.S. forces across the Middle East on high alert right now after this surprise attack by Iran. A surprise in the sense that there was a days-long pause in fighting. That appears to be done. We welcome in ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, the president seeming to indicate over the last few days there would be a path to diplomacy. That appears to be for naught now.
Yeah, and he was very adamant that there was a path to diplomacy, insisting that the Iranians want to make a deal, that they're begging to make a deal. He even said as late as last night, we've hit them very hard and they want to make a deal so badly. But nothing we have seen publicly from Iran, from any official, indicates any willingness to do that or signs of doing that. And now we saw this surprise attack last night on U.S. military assets in Jordan. Jordan's military confirmed that they shot down 5 missiles. And that surprise attack, of course, raises a lot of questions about what the president is going to do next. Is he going to go back to strikes against Iran? Is it going to be the massive strike that he was threatening late last week, but did not go forward with because of concerns about the supply of defensive munitions or the risk of escalating things. So a lot of questions today for the White House and for the president about what the response might be, if any.
Karen, have we heard anything at this point from the administration on this attack, or still waiting to hear from them?
Nothing yet. Just the noting that it happened and the response that the Jordanian military had shot down those missiles.
ABC's Karen Travers with us this morning from the nation's capital. Thank you, Karen.
Have a great day.
You as well. 7:14, sports up next.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Strapping up the chin straps in Green Bay today. Yes, it is the start of training camp. The team will head out to Ray Nitschke Field this morning to begin preparations officially for the 2026 season. Now, maybe one of the storylines we'll be following throughout camp, and maybe kind of the storyline this week, the kicking competition, if there is going to be one. Packers announcing yesterday they have released Lucas Havrisek, and they have signed Lenny Krieg, who is from Germany, spent part of last year on the Falcons practice squad, and now joins rookie Trey Smack in maybe a two-man battle for that starting job. I think a lot of people just kind of assuming that Trey Smack, who was drafted in the 6th round this year, is going to be the new kicker for the Packers, but I don't know. We'll see if maybe this Lenny Krieg can give him a little competition.
This little Kriegmeister over here. I'd be curious if the Havrisek cut, and we'll ask our pal Alex Strofe coming up later at 7:50, is that cut more he's just not an NFL caliber kicker, even though record 61-yard field goal that he has to his name and will forever, or is it that confidence in that if you're going to draft a kicker in the 6th round, he's got to find his way onto the roster somehow, or else we have egg on our face.
Before practice gets underway this morning, we will hear from General Manager Brian Gutekunst. First time we'll hear from him officially since the draft in April.
We're looking at that from a lot of different angles to make sure that we're playing our best football in December and January. I think that hasn't been the case the last 2 years, and it's really imperative that through process and people that we make sure that we take a long look at that.
That was a lot of the questions throughout the offseason for Goody. The team's struggles in the postseason, the early exit, and kind of the devastating loss in the playoffs last year. So again, just addressing, look, we've got to get better late in the season. So all of that, the preparations for a new season get underway today. First practice starting at 10:30 this morning.
Brewers a bounce-back win in the Bay Area last night.
The 0-1. Fly ball into the gap, right center field into some wide open spaces. It hits off the base of the fence on a hop. 1 run in, Vaughn motoring around third. Relay to the plate, close, head first slide, he's safe. And Laura's at third base with a 2-run triple.
Josh Mauer there with the call. That 3-bagger would make it 7-zip. The Crew would finish out the win 8-2. Manager Pat Murphy impressed with the offensive bounce back, done in classic Woodpecker fashion.
It was contact, putting balls in play, and just staying relentless. It's really good. Really good offensive performance.
On the injury news front, some good news for first baseman Jake Bowers. Has a fractured right big toe, took a foul ball off his foot in the Monday night contest, but he does say it's going to be An old fracture picked up on last night's x-ray, nothing new, so just pain management for him moving forward. So some good news on the injury front. Obviously, kind of getting into that back half of the season, the last thing you want is a guy like Bauer outage to be out for any foreseeable period of time.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
7:18, lots to get to. Coming up next, more debate reaction and some news on a story I've reported on previously that I think you should know about. We'll do it next.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics,
since I've gone to them, I run 20-30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training,
it's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
How about a whole day dedicated to you, the WTMJ fan? If that sounds something like you're interested in, come celebrate WTMJ Day with us, your favorite WTMJ host, at a private tailgate at the Brewers game coming up Saturday, August 29th. Food, drinks, you get to hang out with us and get tickets to the Brewers game against the Rangers. More information, you can secure your tickets at WTMJday.com or text tailgate to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. We'll get those details to you ASAP, and tickets will also go ASAP. So sign up today for WTMJ Day, and we'll see you at the ballpark Saturday, August 29th. It's sponsored by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's with catering from Left's Lucky Town.
Score big at the International.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week and every week on WTMJ Outdoors, you have an idea for a guest or a topic, send them my way. Easy way to do that. Email me at steve.scaffidi@WTMJ.com. We'll get them on.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Score big at the International Autos Group in Milwaukee and save up to $25,000 on an exceptional lineup featuring Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and Hyundai. Or get rare 0% financing for 60 months and make no payments for 90 days. Get the service you deserve at a price you'll love at the International Autos Group or at iemilwaukee.com, where our ordinary needs to be extraordinary. Offers on select new models with approved credit. Savings off MSRP.
7:21. All right, Debbie Lazaga, how is the situation with this incident on 894 North faring right now?
Yes, it is a rollover accident northbound 894 just before you get to Beloit Road. The 3 left lanes are blocked right now. Only 1 lane of travel is available on the northbound side. Folks are starting to make their way through, but the delays are there. We've got backups on the Rock Freeway starting at the county line all the way through the Hale. Also westbound 894 backing up from 60th Street all the way up to the accident scene. So I'd avoid the area just to save yourself some headaches. Westbound on 94, backing up from about 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's tightening up just a bit, coming through the Stadium interchange to 35th, and southbound 41, a little heavy south of Appleton Avenue down to about Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Beautiful day in store for your Wednesday. Sunny. Humidity dialed down, a high of 80, clear 64 tonight. Humidity makes its triumphant return on Thursday, a high of 86 degrees. Milwaukee right now at 65. 7:22 on a Wednesday morning. Adam and Neil with you. Vinny and Eric off until next week. Lots of reactions still rolling in from last night's Democratic gubernatorial primary. And some news on Wisconsin Eye, the public affairs broadcaster, airing hearings, conferences, floor sessions in the state capitol. Some movement on securing some funding, at least for now. For more on both of these, we welcome in WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross, joining us on our WTMJ YouTube stream. Text WATCH to 855-616-1620. Good morning, JR. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Not too shabby. Well, we'll get to the Wisconsin Eye news I originally brought you on for in a sec, but did want to get your Insta reacts to the debate last night. It seemed going in that Representative Francesca Hong, the clear front runner, did that gap widen considerably in your eyes following last night's debate?
I think one safe conclusion from talking to people is that nobody went after Francesca Hong, which is interesting. Usually when you have a front runner, you want to try and take them down a peg. The fact they passed that opportunity was noteworthy. The only real swipe was from Mandela Barnes at David Crowley, that basically his campaign been resurrected by, these special interests because he got back into the race. The question now is, if you're trying to beat Francesca Hong or stop her from getting the nomination, do you have time? Do you have money? And is there a path? And as long as both Barnes and Crowley are in the race, it makes it much tougher because they're split in that second place vote or that kind of non-Hong vote right now in the biggest way of the remaining contenders.
Was it interesting, JR, to kind of hear Francesca Hong when asked about public safety, all the candidates were, but maybe kind of walked back previous comments she's had about defunding police and said she would not do so as governor, was also asked about her comments after the police shooting in Madison, where she joined a crowd of protesters and basically called it a state-sanctioned execution. She said last night she wouldn't have came out and said that if she was governor until kind of the investigation. So it seemed like she was kind of maybe walking back some of those comments and kind of maybe trying to play things more in the middle.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch. So if she becomes a nominee, like Republicans have a string of tweets, past statements, video, et cetera, to go after her on, these public safety issues. The question I kind of have, though, is will that outweigh the cost concerns? What I mean by that is, if you look at polling, the number one concern for people like up and down the ticket is the cost of living, inflation. That is really causing problems for Republicans because Donald Trump is in the White House. A lot of his decisions are kind of impacting those economic factors. So yeah, you can paint Hong as anti-law enforcement, all these things. Is that what people care about in this election? That I don't know. We won't really kind of feel that until like October-ish. But it's going to be a challenge for Hong if she is a nominee. Is she going to walk back those past statements and look inauthentic, or say, hey, I've changed because of A, B, and C, or yeah, I've said that, but the real problem is this. And she's trying to walk this line of law enforcement saying, hey, we should invest in things to prevent crime. Robin Voss, some of the Speaker Republicans, they're the ones who have not invested in shared revenue, which is the state aid local governments to help pay for law enforcement. Don't know if it'll work, but that's the tack she's be taking right now.
Politics editor J.R. Ross with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. So, J.R., while a lot of the attention the last couple of days was on the debate and the build-up to it, you were mentioning in your PM update some information earlier this week on Wisconsin Eye. So, just to get people quickly caught up, the organization broadcasts the happenings at the state capitol, but has been on and off the air at times due to funding issues. Well, the legislature's Joint Committee on Legislative Organization, JCLO, voting to give WisI $50,000 a month now through December. Now, in previous conversations, JR, I've had with John Henkes, president and CEO, he's told me before they didn't want to be in this position where we come back on the air and then we're constantly in this will we, won't we stay on situation. Is it likely, though, that this process of monthly installments instead of just a flat solution to this issue likely going to be the path forward, given we saw those two competing matters in the legislature and the Senate and nothing really came from either?
Well, leadership hasn't said much about this move yet. I've called all the offices, the four leaders, to ask, hey, why this approach? Remember, back in February, the same committee gave Wisconsin $50,000 to get it back on the air if it went off. This is not a permanent solution from what I can tell so far. Those two bills you mentioned, one, there's been $10 million set aside by the state for a couple of years now for Wisconsin to seek in matching funds. They haven't done that yet. One idea is take that money and put it into a fund that draws interest, then you kind of fund the network going forward. The Senate passed a different bill that would basically put out a request for proposal to permanently run a network, but you would give money up front to keep it on the air. The big question is, come January, lawmakers are back in session. What will they do to keep this going? And for full disclosure, I do a weekly show on Wisconsin called Rewind, so I'm a part of that, like where they're partner with us at times. But this is kind of a really valuable tool for lobbyists, people who are like tied in the Capitol. And talking to lawmakers, though, they love it because they can watch hearings from their offices and keep their staff can keep in touch with what's going on. but constituents aren't really that plugged into it. They don't get calls like, we need Wisconsin Eye. So while we in the media love it and people involved in the Capitol love it, some of them don't see a huge need due to this. And Dan Fine was the one lone vote against this on the JCLO, basically a necessary expense. They're not in session until January. Question why we're doing this. So the fate of that network is to be determined in the future, but this money will keep on the air through the end of the year. It also gives certainty to pitch to donors of, hey, we're going to be around till at least the end of this year. If you're thinking about writing a check, we're a more stable organization than we were before.
WIS Politics Editor J.R. Ross, thanks for hopping on this morning, J.R. We'll talk soon.
Hey, you guys have a great day.
You as well. 7:28 here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Lots more to get to. We've got more debate recaps. We'll also continue to touch and talk upon the situation in northeast Wisconsin and the Fox Valley as cleanup continues from tornado efforts. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, people have been asking us, how can I get involved? Is there some sort of a relief effort, a campaign, drives that I can do? Well, we will bring on our partners from NBC 26 who are launching their own initiative and want to make sure people know how they can get involved with that. So we'll bring that for you coming up in just about over a half hour from now. First, your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update amid news of the surprise attack in Iran. Oil prices on the rise this morning. Crude oil now sitting at $84.32 a barrel. Meanwhile, on the futures market, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P was mixed earlier this morning. Now all solid losses, not major losses, but all three major indices in the red, with trading set to begin in just about an hour. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
See Europe from a completely new perspective with Fox World Travel and Avalon Waterways. Cruising down legendary rivers like the Danube or the Rhine, your luxury boutique hotel travels with you. Relax in award-winning panorama suites featuring wall-to-wall windows, enjoy premium local wine and dining, and step off directly into the heart of historic castles and villages. Your next incredible river cruise awaits. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. On Capitol Hill this morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci facing a Senate hearing over the COVID pandemic, how it started and how the response was handled. The committee chaired by Senator Rand Paul, a longtime critic of Dr. Fauci, who has accused him of lying to Congress. Fauci has been preemptively pardoned by former President Joe Biden. In the Middle East, new attacks after a pause in fighting that lasted for a few days.
U.S. Central Command says Iran fired multiple ballistic missiles, but says all Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted. Axios reports the target was a U.S. base in Jordan. The question now, how will the U.S. respond? In a separate escalation, U.S. and Saudi jets targeted sites in eastern Iraq, linked to Iranian-backed groups believed responsible for attacking Saudi oil facilities.
ABC's Sophie Flay. Hundreds of thousands of people forced to evacuate from their homes in Japan amid aftershocks from the earthquake that killed at least 13 people. This is ABC News.
Big trouble on 894 northbound. Just before you get to Beloit Road, we have a rollover accident that is blocking the 3 left lanes. Only really 1 lane of traffic available to you to get through there. So everything's backed up through the Hale interchange. Northbound on the Rock Freeway is backing up before the county line all the way into the Hale. Westbound 894 is slowing down from Loomis to the accident scene. We've also got some delays elsewhere. We've got backups coming out of the Mitchell interchange on 4394 northbound around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Also seeing delays on 794 northbound from Howard Avenue to Oklahoma Avenue. I don't have any incidents specifically there. However, there is usually an accident at Oklahoma Avenue on that road. Westbound on 94, backing up from about 17th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound, got backups from Highway F through the Barker Road area. Back on the brakes from 70th to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, mostly sunny, humidity dialed down today, 80 degrees your high, 64 the overnight low. Milwaukee right now at 66. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin reaction continues from Tuesday night's gubernatorial Democratic debate. And Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, one of the 5 candidates, says his background is preparing him to lead the state overall. Crowley re-entered the race and received recent backlash due to ties to a controversial X account, posts he claims he did not publish himself. And Crowley making his pitch to voters during the debate, saying he understands the challenges many families face.
I grew up in the 53206 zip code where I had to work extremely hard for everything that I have. And so I'm not here to protect the establishment. I'm here to deliver real results for Wisconsinites all over our state. I like to make decisions based off of the data, based off of facts. And we learned ever since that day that a lot of things have changed and we were going off of false data. So we know that the stakes are too high this upcoming election. And that's why I got back into this race.
An audio courtesy of WISN 12 News. The primary election coming up August 11th.
Thomas Farley unanimously approved as the new interim Waukesha County executive, the former lead attorney for the county, taking the place of Paul Farrow, who died earlier this month after a nearly 2-year battle with a rare cancer. Farley will serve in the role until the countywide special election is held in mid-December.
Students at Lincoln Avenue School on Milwaukee's southwest side starting the year at Pulaski High School after a fire destroyed their century-old home. Teacher Angeli Marie Soto on Wisconsin's Afternoon News says she's not worried about the transition this school year.
What's great about this move is that because we are moving as a staff, the kids are familiar with us. You know, it's not that they're going to be split up and going to one building and then the other half is going to a different building. We're together. So it makes it a lot easier to assure the kids, like, hey, everything is going to be the same. It's just a different building.
Soto says families are handling the transition well. MPS begins their academic year September 1st.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
News is brought to you by Abbey Home. Go to abbyhome.com today.
Abbey Window.
Are you looking to upgrade your home with a new bath, windows, roofing, or siding? At Abbey Home, we're proud to stand for the flag and celebrate America's 250th birthday. For 250 years, Americans have believed in hard work, quality craftsmanship, and taking pride in homeownership. And so do we. That's why we're offering 25% off all projects. That's 25% off all projects. Let our family help improve your home with products built to last and service you can trust. Call Abbey Home today. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary.
Fee-only fiduciary really further separates the folks that either say fiduciary some of the time or best interests altogether. And it's not just that alone. It is, of course, everything else that we can bring to the table that just isn't asset management. It is estate planning, tax planning, financial planning, all of it wrapped together in one transparent fee.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management? Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on fresh 90% lean ground beef, $5.99 a pound, 1 pound fresh strawberries, $3.49, large sweet peaches, $2.49 a pound, 7 to 10 ounce selected varieties, essential everyday potato chips or salty snacks, 2 for $4.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:38.
Brewers bounce back, and it's training camp day in Green Bay. Sports at 7:38.
Well, just about to get underway on Capitol Hill, Dr. Anthony Fauci will face off against Senator Rand Paul, a longtime critic of how Fauci handled the COVID pandemic. But what's different this time now, Senator Paul has excerpts from Dr. Fauci's diary.
6 years after the pandemic gripped the globe, new insight into the U.S. government's response. A Senate committee today is set to question Dr. Anthony Fauci, accusing the former head of the COVID response effort of misleading Americans about the source of the virus and lying to Congress, all which Fauci denies. He and his lawyers say the accusations are part of Republican Senator Rand Paul's personal vendetta against Fauci. Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
Again, that hearing just getting underway. I believe Senator Rand Paul, who does chair the Senate committee that this is happening at this morning, just gavelled in. So
combining a bat coronavirus spike protein with a SARS backbone. The resulting virus could infect human airway cells. It's a novel virus that now can infect human cells. It gained transmissibility. It gained function. In 2018, the same group of scientists, EcoHealth, Barrick, Xi.
That's Senator Rand Paul again. Testimony just about to get underway with Dr. Fauci over his handling of the COVID pandemic. So that happening on Capitol Hill this morning.
7:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News is brought to you by City Forward Collective. For stronger schools and brighter futures, visit cityforwardcollective.org.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Forward Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityforwardcollective.org. That's cityforwardcollective.org.
You know who Forum's the #1 bank in Wisconsin? Horicon Bank. Hello, I'm Eric Weissenen. Thank you to our customers for helping Horicon Bank earn this recognition. From everyday banking, mortgage lending, trust administration, 55 or better Gliders Club, and My Money for Kids, Horicon Bank has solutions for every stage of life. And let's not forget about our incredible business banking team. I personally invite you to learn more about Horicon Bank at horiconbank.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Horicon Bank MLS 434805, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Don't wait until Friday for your fish fry. The Mine Shaft restaurant serves their all-you-can-eat fish fry every Wednesday and Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The haddock fish fry is just $8.99. You'll pay twice that at other restaurants. I love the Mine Shaft fish fry. Build your own big burger or chicken sandwich with a pile of hot fries for under $10 today. Kids and grandkids under 3, eat for free. Sunday through Thursday from the kids menu, it is free. They can safely play in the world-class game room, quietly set away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. That sounds fantastic. Everybody in the family wins. I urge you to just walk on in today for your Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry at just $8.99. That's a crazy low price, and it's great food. Cocktails, beer, appetizers are half price Monday through Thursday from 2 till 5. The Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near the EAA. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. Big food, big fun. It's the Mine Shaft Restaurant.
7:42. Debbie Lozica, how's our situation on 894?
Looks like everything has been cleared up on the bypass northbound just before Beloit Road. That's where we had that rollover accident that had a bunch of lanes blocked. Everything has been cleared out of the way. Not the delays yet, though. That just happened. So northbound on the Rock Freeway is backed up from the county line all the way to that point, and also westbound 894 backed up from Loomis to that point. So give yourself still some time to get through that. North Northbound on 94, we are seeing delays from the airport spur up through the Mitchell Interchange to Oklahoma Avenue. Westbound 94 is delayed from 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound still has some backups from Highway 16 all the way to Springdale. Back on the brakes from 70th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. The cooler and quiet weather continues for our Wednesday. We've got sunshine up above, and it'll feel less humid out there this afternoon. We'll look for high temperatures to climb into the lower 80s. Skies stay clear tonight as lows dip back into the mid-60s, and we'll see a little bit more cloud cover roll in on our Thursday. Warm and humid as high temperatures top out in the mid to upper 80s.
Milwaukee right now at 67 degrees.
Well, an interesting way to try to recruit new teachers. Leaders from Milwaukee Public Schools are heading south to try to fill hundreds of jobs.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So MPS is holding a 2-day hiring event today and tomorrow in Chicago. They are targeting teachers recently affected by layoffs in Chicago public schools. District leaders say they'll conduct interviews on the spot and in many cases make immediate job offers.
Our goal is to make sure that every classroom across Milwaukee Public Schools has a highly qualified teacher.
It's MPS Interim Deputy Superintendent Michael Harris said the district looking to again hire about 200 teachers, another 150 paraprofessionals before the new school year begins, September 1st. Now, officials say the openings are driven by recent retirements, resignations, and also new teaching positions that were added as part of MPS's effort to reduce class sizes. That was part of a goal in their budget that they passed earlier this year. So again, they're kind of laying it out to some of those teachers in Chicago who are looking for jobs. Look, Milwaukee's only 90 minutes away. We've got, strong packages and salaries for you. They say the average salary right about $90,000, strong pensions, health benefits. So going down to Chicago next 2 days, see how many teachers they can hire. So we'll see what happens.
Seems only fair. Chicago's done their fair share of pitching the beautiful city to our workers and our people in Southeast Wisconsin. Got to take the punches too sometimes. Seems like an opportunity for MPS, and especially given what we've been talking about over the last several years with the ups and downs. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselli is still trying to have some stability, get a little bit of a level ground here. So why not take that chance? 7:45, sports up next.
No doubt you've noticed the wildfire smoke. Vince Vitrano here for MD Hyperbaric in Wauwatosa. Poor air quality can take a toll on your lungs and leave you feeling drained. That's where MD Hyperbaric can help. Hyperbaric Oxygen Therapy delivers concentrated oxygen under pressure to reduce inflammation, support your body's natural healing process, and promote faster recovery from the effects of poor air quality. If you want to breathe easier and feel your best, learn more at mdhyperbaric.com.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
It's going to be a busy day in Green Bay. That's because it is the official first day of training camp for the Packers. They will take the field at Ray Nitschke Field this morning to begin preparations for the new season. We'll also hear before practice gets underway this morning, General Manager Brian Gutekunst will address the media. First time we'll hear from him since about April when the NFL draft was, so we'll see what Goody has to say. Again, some people thinking maybe it should be a pretty straightforward camp. Are there going to be many positional battles, maybe a little kicking competition? They did sign Lenny Krieg of Germany, the Packers did. They released kicker Lucas Havrisik yesterday, so could that create a little competition for rookie Trey Smack, who they took in this year's draft? So we'll see what happens in the kicking game. First practice getting underway at 10:30 this morning. We'll have a little more on training camp. ESPN's Alex Strofe joining us coming up.
Brewers take care of business 8-2 over the Giants Tuesday night. That sets up the rubber match this afternoon. Brewers' second best record in baseball. They got a high-rated farm system, and the Brewers in position to be buyers before next week's MLB trade deadline. But will they make a bite?
complicating matters for teams like the Brewers, expanded playoffs.
The list of clubs that are like done, out of it, ready to move on and trade guys is really short.
Brewers.com writer Adam McCalvey expects the Brewers to be active, but also mindful of risk.
A team like the Brewers that doesn't backfill via free agents, you have to stockpile prospects and especially position player prospects. History says they'll do something.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
History says, but will it actually happen? The trade deadline, August 3rd, 5 p.m. We'll ask our guy Jeff Levering coming up in Brewers 360. That's just after 8:40. And a reminder, of course, that rubber match today, right here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. It is an afternoon game. Been to some late nights, so kind of grateful that I don't have to worry about staying up until 11, getting ready for the show this morning. 2:10, our coverage starts for you here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. It's 7:48.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades, and right now, J.D. Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
7:50 on a Wednesday morning. Debbie Lazaga, how's the morning drive shaking?
Things still backing up on 894 heading northbound. That earlier accident at Beloit Road, or just before Beloit Road, that had that rollover has been cleared. Delays are still working themselves out. We got backups from the county line all the way on the Rock Freeway, all the way into the Hale interchange. Westbound 894 is backed up just before Loomis, all the way to the Hale interchange as well. Northbound 94 backed up from the airport spur all the way past Oklahoma Avenue. Speaking of Oklahoma Avenue, northbound on 794, the lights at Oklahoma Avenue are not working. So watch out for the backups. Right now we're seeing big delays from before Howard Avenue up to the area of Oklahoma Avenue. Southbound 94. One more time. Southbound 41, that's the one from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Going to be a heavy ride there. Northbound from North Avenue up past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast sponsored by Big Fish Contracting. Visit bigfishcontracting.com to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. Great day to get outside. Mostly sunny, not a lot of humidity. 80 degrees your high. Might be a little cooler near the lake. Clear 64 tonight. Humidity returns Thursday, 86 and partly cloudy, and our next rain chance arrives Friday, 80 the high. Early rain Saturday, 75. Same temps, sunny skies on Sunday. 68 in Milwaukee at 7:51. Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And in his stead, we have our friend from Green Bay Game Day, the host of the show, Alex Strofe, ESPN Milwaukee's Alex Strofe. Welcome in, Strofe. Happy training camp day.
Happy training camp. Good morning, guys. And sorry to disappoint Tausch. He's not here. I, unfortunately, am not in the Packers Hall of Fame, but I will do my best to fill in for him.
We can dream one day.
Yeah, right.
Gotta get those bench press numbers up, though, first.
Yeah, oh, good pop there, Adam. Way too early for that assault. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. All right, so it is indeed training camp day, and as is the case every single year, the storylines, They're usually pretty aplenty. We could go any direction, but I do want to start with the roster news from late yesterday, or at least yesterday afternoon. Lucas Havrisik out and Lenny Krieg in. So the kicking competition will be a Krieg v. Smack, a little smack down potentially. Do you see this more lack of confidence in NFL caliber quality for Havrisik, or that, hey, we drafted a guy in the 6th round to do this job, we're going to lay the plate for you here?
I think it's more the latter than it is the former, Adam, but I'm just confused by the timeline on things, right? Like Havrisik had a good spring in terms of what the mini camp that was open to the media. I don't think he missed a single kick dating back to May, but why wait until the day before training camp? That's the part I'm a bit confused on. Is it a real competition? I don't think so, right? We went through this a couple of years ago with Anders Carlson when he was drafted. It's going to be his job. Gutekunst spent a draft pick on him. We know he likes his draft picks. I thought it was going to be more of a real competition between him and Havrisik. By the way, Lucas Havrisik, now a great bar trivia question. He owns the Packers record for longest field goal in a game.
I bet you in 40 years he's going to be sitting at that lonely bar stool saying, I was there. Remember when?
Remember when? Right? If that record holds. So
Yes.
all in all, it's interesting. But this is Trey Smack's job to lose, even if I'm not even sure it's possible for him to lose it after Gutekunst traded up to draft him in the 6th round of this year's draft. So welcome back, Packers fans, to the rookie kicker experience. We all went how that went last time, just a few years ago with Anders Carlson.
You know, I think the fun thing about training camp as well, you get all the different, storylines, and one of them is sometimes, positional battles. Do we really have many, or does it kind of feel like, all right, look, the Packers kind of know who their, main guys are going to be, and they're just kind of ready to roll things out? Obviously, you've got some injuries you're dealing with to get guys back, but otherwise, are we really seeing many guys going to be competing for spots?
I think that though there's two really to keep an eye on. It's right guard, if you're into that kind of thing, Neil Doyle. Anthony Belton, the 2nd round pick from last year, versus Jagger Burton, who was a 5th round pick out of Kentucky this year. That's allegedly a competition at right guard. Cornerback, who's going to get the snaps? But I think the one that fans should really be interested in is more so who's filling Michael Parsons' spot across from Lucas Van Ness while he misses likely the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season. So who's going to be rushing the quarterback across from Lucas Van Ness, the former 1st-round pick? That's kind of what's on my mind the next couple of weeks is who's getting the snaps, who's getting the opportunity in these practices leading up to preseason game number 1. Because Micah Parsons, pretty good player. I don't know if you've heard that before.
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Right? So we'll see who fills those snaps. It's a lot of young guys, 2 rookies, 2 second-year guys that are looking to earn their first real opportunity in this league.
I know it's still TBD on that exact return date for Micah. A lot of speculation right now. Tucker Kraft sounds like he's going to be ready to go week 1, at least if you believe what he's saying. Wouldn't it be, though, just the sweetest sauce if we get Packers-Cowboys week 6 and you get the big WWE-style opening, lights go out, smoke goes up, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Yeah, I would prefer the week earlier because week 5 is Packers-Bears, and we know how that went the last time around. But to your point, yeah, it's revenge game. And Mike obviously made his reemergence at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, the team that he was traded from last year. But we didn't get a result to that game. As you remember, it was a Sunday night football game, a lot of juice, a lot of energy. It was a 40-40 tie. Ties are disgusting.
No,
so
not
yes, we do need an answer this time around with Mike and his former team. But I agree. Yeah, WWE-esque entrance. I like that idea.
Strofe, what do you think kind of goes down this week? Obviously, the Josh Jacobs situation. Now, Look's not been formally charged with anything. Yeah. His team has come out and said the allegations, they deny him, but we haven't heard from him. He hasn't talked to the media. Do you think he comes out here early in training camp, kind of makes a statement and puts it to bed like that, or how do they kind of handle this?
Yeah, I guess I don't know with the legal proceedings, right? Because as we've continued to monitor, nothing's come of it yet, which I just find so odd personally. Now, I don't know how these things typically work, but I think usually it doesn't take this long because it's been almost 3 months now since we initially heard about this story. So I would imagine he's either A, going to be hidden until we hear more information from the DA up there in Brown County, or the latter, which is your point. Does he come out with a prepared statement, and that's it? That's the only time he addresses it the remainder of camp. Because as of now, it seems from a football perspective, which is what we're talking about, it seems like he's a full go, right? He's going to practice. They do intend on having him week 1. He does intend on being their lead back all 17 games this season, assuming health. So I don't know if they avoid it or if they just address it right away today. But I typically, it's such a weird, strange situation that I've never seen before. So I'm curious to see how they handle it this week.
He is host of Green Bay Game Day on ESPN Milwaukee, Alex Strofe. Happy training camp day, and may your storylines be bountiful going into tomorrow.
I appreciate that, and I hear Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme music in the background.
Wait a minute!
I imagine there will be a couple people up there like smashing beers together to celebrate the opening of training camp, just like Stone Cold. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to you, Alex. 7:58.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Old Republic Risk Management could soon swap its longtime Brookfield office for a new $60 million headquarters on Executive Drive as the city weighs public incentives to keep the insurer in Wisconsin. The Medical College of Wisconsin has broken ground on its first on-campus student housing complex. 266-unit development set to open in 2028. Milwaukee is moving forward with a plan to lease about 50,000 square feet of the former Midtown Central Walmart for $1 annually, as the city looks to transform the vacant space into a community hub. I'm Juan Lasso with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The road leads west. Next stop, San Francisco.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He strikes out the side in the fourth. Strikeout number 11 for Jacob Mizorowski. Stand and applaud.
The Brewers take on the Giants today at Oracle Park. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 2:10 on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, July 29th. Our top story, the overseas conflict with Iran escalates overnight.
I'm Neil Doyle, in for Eric Bilstad. More reaction to the Democratic debate.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got a crash on westbound 94 just before Barker Road, so be careful with that. It's off on the right shoulder, but still causing some issues, slowing down from Calhoun to that point. Southbound on 41, slowing from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound from just before Mayfair Road, you're going to see delays pretty much up to Burleigh. Southbound 43 now starting to slow down just before Good Hope Road down to Bender Road. Back on the brakes from Keefe to Locust. Northbound 43, 94, well, technically from 94 northbound from just north of the airport spur through the Mitchell Interchange up to Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny, humidity down today, 80 degrees, your high 64, and clear overnight tonight. Already up to 69 in Milwaukee at 8:02, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, U.S. forces in the Middle East on high alert right now after a surprise attack by Iran, breaking a days-long pause in the fighting overseas.
Saudi Arabia under fire from Iranian-backed groups in the region, shooting down drones in the eastern part of the country. Overnight, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia retaliating, striking Iran-backed proxy groups in Iraq. The first time Saudi Arabia has carried out strikes in that country since the start of the war. And in the Red Sea, the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen claim to have struck a Saudi oil tanker, threatening another critical waterway in the Middle East.
ABC News senior political correspondent Rachel Scott, the Trump administration has not offered an official response to the overnight attacks.
Decision Wisconsin, public safety taking center stage during the only televised Democratic debate in the gubernatorial race. All 5 of the candidates last night saying they would not sign a state budget that cuts funding for law enforcement. State Representative Francesca Hong walking back some past comments supporting defunding the police, saying she's focused on investing in both public safety and crime prevention. Meanwhile, former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes taking aim at the Democratic establishment during his closing statement on WISN 12 News.
To everybody watching at home, I want you to know that the establishment is trying to rig this election. They want you to choose between their preferred candidate, and also Republican billionaires are lining up to the tune of $3.5 million to choose a Democratic nominee in this race. I'm here to say that's BS.
The partisan primary is on August 11th.
At least 13 people confirmed dead in Japan following Tuesday's powerful earthquake. This as crews are searching through the rubble of a collapsed mall in the quake zone.
Shoppers seen running. An explosion 90 minutes later, part of the second floor collapsing, and now thousands of emergency personnel have been deployed to assist in rescue and aid efforts. The quake's epicenter was located on the southwestern island of Kyushu. 300,000 people have been told to evacuate to safety. Fires broke out throughout the area. Tourists witnessed the famous stone wall of Kumamoto Castle crumbling to the ground.
ABC News Chief International Correspondent James Longman, that quake's magnitude upgraded to a 7.1 on the Richter scale.
Governor Tony Evers has declared a state of emergency after preliminary surveys indicate an EF3 tornado brought high winds, power outages, and widespread damage to the Menasha and Appleton areas earlier this week. Mayor Austin Hammond telling Wisconsin's Midday News.
We would want and need the aspects of the National Guard to be mobilized to help with different aspects of recovery here for the city of Menasha, Appleton, Neenah, Village of Fox Crossing. Helps with directing state agencies to work with us promptly and with direct response for recovery. And it just expedites a lot of the services that we might need in coordination with the state.
The twister touched down in the Fox Cities region Monday afternoon, cutting a roughly 12-mile path of destruction in just over 20 minutes.
The city of Wauwatosa is planning to move forward with its priciest option for a city hall and library replacement plan. The Common Council voting 10-1 to continue with the $107 million building design. Alderwoman Melissa Dolan, the only one to oppose the idea on Tuesday.
I have not received one email or one positive phone call saying, yes, please vote yes. It's been a very long week, and I want to put this behind me. So unfortunately, this evening, I find myself not in support of this.
The plan involves tearing down the current Civic Center and replacing it with brand new buildings.
Coming up, a push for sprinklers in MPS.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06. News is brought to you by Pivot Work Injury Law. Worn down by work, contact Pivot Work Injury Law today.
Access Legal is now Pivot Work Injury Law, a new name that better reflects our sole focus on helping Wisconsin's injured workers. We have the same mission, the same team, and the same dedication to helping those hurt at work. Our team has handled thousands of cases, recovered more than $50 million for Wisconsin's injured workers, and remains committed to fighting for the benefits you deserve. If work has taken a toll on your body or your quality of life, turn to the team you already know and trust. Visit pivotworkinjurylaw.com today.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Lincoln Avenue School on Milwaukee's south side, a total loss after a fire late last month. The bigger issue was that it did not have working sprinklers inside.
Milwaukee Public Schools Superintendent estimates the cost to retrofit a school with sprinklers would be $1 to $2 million. Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky says he's seeing too much tragedy to just dismiss this issue.
Having seen so much death and so much injury, I'm not in a position where I'm willing to just give up on the discussion because someone else says it's too expensive.
The cause of the fire is under investigation, but there's one thing investigators have ruled out.
There does not appear to be any foul play or an active intent to start this terrible fire.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
The state is taking steps to shut down operations at the Menasha Brewing Company. The Wisconsin Department of Revenue has issued notices revoking brewers' permits for 2 Menasha brewing locations, along with the company's warehouse permit. The DOR says the action stems from violations of Wisconsin alcohol beverage laws, but do not go on to say what other violations there could be. Now, owner Kirk Bangstad, a liberal activist, outspoken critic of President Trump, was also for a short time in the Democratic race for governor, now has until August 4th to appeal this decision. They can continue operating while that appeal moves forward.
The Senate plans to take a look at the future of AI in a hearing that will explore how AI-powered networks are impacting American life. NYU professor Scott Galloway says he's concerned that artificial intelligence could have long-lasting negative effects on human connections.
Young people are going to fall prey to AI relationships, sequester themselves from real-world relationships, and that we aren't thinking long-term about the potential harms on a more insidious kind of mundane level of AI.
9 out of 10 college students currently use AI in class, and more than half of Americans use it at work. And AI-powered scams have surged more than 1,200% just in 2025 alone.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:10.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Coming up on 8:12 here on a Wednesday morning, Debbie Lazaga, how are we looking on the roads right now?
A bit backed up northbound on 4394 through the Mitchell Interchange up to Oklahoma Avenue, and again from Lincoln to Beecher. We've also got northbound 794. The lights at Oklahoma Avenue don't seem to be working, nor do the cameras. So I think there might be a power issue right in that neck of the woods, at least as far as the municipal stuff. Northbound on 894, backing up, coming out of the Hale Interchange all the way to about National Avenue. We've got southbound 41 heavy from about Appleton Avenue down past Capitol, northbound from Mayfair Road past Burleigh, and then we have a crash westbound on 94. This is just past Brookfield Road, almost to Barker Road. It is on the right shoulder out of traffic, luckily. And we do have delays, though, coming in from before Moreland Road to that scene. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your forecast today, mostly sunny, humidity down 80 degrees, your high. Clear skies 64 overnight tonight. Humidity comes back Thursday, highs up to around 86. We'll get another shot for some showers on Friday. Could be some thunderstorms mixed in as well. 80 your high. Early rain Saturday, then cooler 75 degrees. 75 on Sunday and mostly sunny. Milwaukee at 70 here at 8:13.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Adam Roberts and Neil Doyle.
And a good Wednesday morning to you. Adam and Neil in for a couple more days here. Vince and Eric are off. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
It occurred to me I hadn't really ever said good morning to you. My manners are off today.
Got right into it. It's been busy.
Yeah, we got Debbie watching the roads, had an earlier rollover crash. It's been a busy start to your drive. Debbie's on top of it. We got Greg Pancake Hill producing the show as always, and our guy Nazir Spencer handling it in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. We're a couple of days removed from the tragic situation that has unfolded in our northeast Wisconsin communities of Appleton and Menasha. That EF3 tornado tearing a more than 12-mile path, basically moving due north to south through some of the most heavily populated areas of the Fox Valley. A state of emergency now declared by Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. We heard yesterday from the mayor of Menasha, Austin Hammond, on that declaration.
We would want and need the aspects of the National Guard to be mobilized to help with different aspects of recovery here for the city of Menasha, Appleton, Neenah, Village of Fox Crossing. Helps with directing state agencies to work with us promptly and with direct response for recovery. And it just expedites a lot of the services that we might need in coordination with the state.
So that's awesome. But we have heard, Neil, from people, our WTMJ fans, just people in the general public, what can I do to help? There is always that mentality here in the Midwest, and especially in Wisconsin, when disaster strikes, the community steps up pretty much almost immediately. I mean, I was hearing sounds of chainsaws and hammers already in some of the videos we were seeing in the initial aftermath on Monday. Well, now we're starting to get more efforts moving forward that people can contribute to and help with things. So for more on this and an opportunity for people who want to get involved and want to give back to the Fox Valley, we welcome in from our partners at NBC 26, General Manager Jacqueline Clark, joining us now on our YouTube stream. You can text WATCH to 855-616-1620 if you want to hop on. We're always streaming on YouTube. Jacqueline, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Jacqueline, we'll get to the new effort, NBC 26, you guys are launching in connection with the Scripps Howard Fund. But I did want to ask first, just as a human, your raw reaction to not just the damage that we've seen in the Fox Valley area, but also to that lift a neighbor up attitude we've seen from people in the community.
Yeah, I have spent most of my life in the state of Wisconsin at this point, and I've never seen any sort of destruction what experienced this week. I think if there's anything that I have gathered from this experience, it's that this community is going to band together to really help everybody move forward and rebuild. lot of different ways that people can do that, both monetarily and just with volunteer efforts. I know yesterday there were a lot of different relief stations and aid stations set up for bottled water distribution and cell towers and things like that. And the fact that all of that was set up so quickly, I think is really a testament to the community that we have up here in Northeast Wisconsin.
And I know for us covering this story, I mean, just seeing the images and the path of destruction, I mean, it's tough to look at. I know as your station has covered this as well, too. I mean, just for you, seeing kind of what this tornado did, just kind of what's your reaction to that? Again, for me, it's hard to believe it happened, and it was just a couple of days ago now.
I've never seen anything like that. Anytime. I think it's easy to remove yourself from big news stories like this when it's not right in your backyard. You see it on TV, and that's where we hear a lot of people say, "We never think it's going to happen to you." And I think for us specifically, this really hits close to home, not just because it's 30 minutes down the road from where we operate every day, but these are our neighbors, right? They're our friends, they're our family, they're our colleagues, and so it's really disheartening to see. It's really just, I've never seen anything like it.
So you guys at NBC 26 have launched the Fox Valley Tornado Relief Fund. As I mentioned when we were coming in here, people want to know. There's a line of people asking, how can I help? How can I contribute? Even if I don't live in Northeast Wisconsin or I can't get over there to lend a physical hand, I want to help out some way. What should people know about the effort you guys are launching?
Yeah, absolutely. So in partnership with the Scripps Howard Fund, we have launched the Fox Valley Tornado Relief effort. What that is, it's a place for people to go to donate monetarily. And what we'll do with those funds is identify local nonprofits in the area, right in Menasha, Fox Valley, that are really coordinating efforts to provide resources to those who are impacted the most. So in the next coming days, what we'll do is we'll identify who those partners are. We'll collaborate with them to ensure that we're getting the donations that we've raised into the hands of those who need it most.
And then just give us a quick rundown too, Jacqueline. I believe if you go to the NBC 26 website, there's a lot of the information right on there, but just best ways if people do want to lend a donation and send some money for the fund, just best way people can do it.
Absolutely. There's a variety for you guys. If you go to NBC26.com/relief, that will take you directly to the donation page. If you're near a computer, you can also text NBC26 to 50155. And then also on our website and on air, we've got a QR code that people can scan as well to directly to that donation page.
NBC 26 General Manager and Director of Sales, Jacqueline Clark, with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. Jacqueline, thanks for hopping on this morning. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
8:19. If other people are interested and you want to be involved and be boots on the ground, as it were, there is actually a couple of other things happening today. Wanted to mention this Operation Barbecue Relief, catchy name, by the way. Nonprofit organization will be in the Appleton area. They'll be providing free meals for those impacted by the tornado. They'll have locations starting today at 11:30 until food runs out. You can go to St. Thomas Episcopal in Menasha, the Walmart on Winneconne Avenue in Neenah, as well as the Walmart location on Calumet Street in Appleton. Again, that starts at 11:30 this morning until food runs out. And then if you want to contribute to our partners at NBC 26's Fox Valley Tornado Relief Campaign, you can do so. Just visit NBC26.com. We'll get you the information also as well on WTMJ.com. 8:21. Let's get an eye on the roads now with Debbie Lazaga. How are things looking, Deb?
Still a bit backed up westbound 94 from just before 27th Street all the way to Holly Road. Then you're really on the brakes just west of Highway 100 all the way to an accident scene that is just before you get to Barker Road. So it's pretty much solid that whole way. On the eastbound side, we have just delays basically from 68th Street all the way to 35th. Southbound 41, heavy ride there from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, northbound from just before Mayfair Road past Burleigh. Southbound 43, got a pocket of heavy traffic right past Good Hope Road, and then back on the brakes from Keefe to about North Avenue. And then northbound on 794. This is not kind of the freeway portion of it. Just right about at Oklahoma Avenue, we have the lights not working correctly. So we've got backups past Howard Avenue. So if you do have to go along that roadway, it's going to take a while. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first soft wave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
8:25, Wisconsin's Morning News. Adam and Neil in for Vince and Eric. So some new developments in the ongoing Homeland Security Committee hearing involving Dr. Anthony Fauci. The doctor is invoking the Fifth and declining to answer questions on this Republican-led committee about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Wanted to dip into this a little bit. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin is speaking right now as a member of this committee.
Injections. Dr. Nath told those individuals, stay quiet. We want to make sure that we gather all the information and then release it to doctors so they can treat people like yourself. There was a concerted effort, and I'll enter this into the record. It appears inside NIH to quash Dr. Nass publishing that study. It finally was put on a preprint server with telling no one, and I think about May of 2022. I think what's noteworthy about this is Dr. Nath told the injured participants that early treatment, early intervention was crucial for them to be treated. And yet within the NIH, they were questioning what was Dr. Nath doing. They didn't want to publish that because, and I want to take time searching for it, because publishing it would create vaccine hesitancy, which is what we continue to hear time and time again, is the reason they didn't promote they lied about the safety signals they were seeing. Throughout the pandemic, I always push early treatment. We've got things in here where you were really concerned about remdesivir because it was untested, but hydroxychloroquine, yeah, it was an improved drug. Maybe some safety issues, but we had a great deal of experience with it. All of a sudden, you had the Surgisphere study. It was retracted within 2 weeks because it was completely false. Totally blew up the use of hydroxychloroquine. And then when it comes to ivermectin.
U.S. Senator from Wisconsin Ron Johnson there on this committee questioning Dr. Anthony Fauci, who was set to potentially answer these lawmakers' questions. This after Fauci was subpoenaed by Republican Senator Rand Paul. Long fraught relationship with the now retired infectious disease expert. But the new development now, Fauci pleading the fifth. We've been watching on our monitors here in the studio. Fauci pretty much just straight-faced, hasn't really shown any emotion during this hearing at all. And I would expect now with this invocation of the fifth that we may not hear basically any answers from him at all on this today.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought he was going to face a grilling, which he still probably will. I'm sure all of these lawmakers on the committee
hearing. I mean, that's the only reason we're paid, right? Is we show up and we can just ask pointed questions.
So we'll hear a lot, but yeah, not gonna hear from Dr. Fauci.
That continues on in Washington. Meanwhile, we're also keeping an eye on the situation overseas. The surprise attack by Iran overnight. We'll have an update coming from ABC here straight ahead, as well as your local bottom of the hour headlines in just a few.
It was always said about Milwaukee Brewer legend Jim Gantner that he played the game the right way.
God gave me the talent to play baseball, but it's up to me what I want to do with it.
It's just such an exciting partnership for us at Big Fish Contracting. I'm thinking there's a chance if you sign up with us, Jim Gantner may be dropping off a tube of caulk at your house.
Shingles, whatever.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Have you ever looked around your home and thought, I know I want to change something. I just don't know where to start. That's exactly why I love Steinhoffel's Decorating Solutions program. Their professional designers work with you one-on-one to bring your vision to life. Whether you're updating a single room or redesigning your entire home, they'll help you find the right furniture, choose colors and fabrics, and create a space that fits your lifestyle and personality. Best of all, they take all the guesswork out of the process, so decorating feels fun instead of overwhelming. If you're ready to create a home that's beautiful and feels uniquely you, visit Steinhoffel's. Tell them Jessica Tai sent you, and learn more about decorating solutions today.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Fauci saying,
under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions.
Senate Homeland Security Committee Chair Rand Paul demanding answers about how COVID started and how it was handled. Toward the end of Senator Paul's questioning, one of Fauci's lawyers began talking, Paul responding.
I said, sit quietly, you are not recognized. Another word and you're gone.
Well, the lawyer kept going.
Security, please remove him from the room.
Many of the Senator Paul's questions centered on diaries that Fauci kept that were discovered on federal servers. Fresh attacks in the Middle East, Jordan shooting down missiles it says were launched by Iran. Trump administration ending subsidies for Medicare Part D, which covers prescription drugs. Some estimates say that could push premiums up to $20 a month. This is ABC News.
Westbound 94 still dealing with an accident. It's just before you get to Barker Road, and everything is on the right shoulder. So at least we got that going for us. As far as delays from 27th Street to Hawley Road, and then from just west of Highway 100 to the accident scene. Eastbound slowing down from 70th Street to 35th. Southbound 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue to Capitol. Northbound from Mayfair Road to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, mostly sunny, humidity down today, 80 degrees your high, clear and 64 tonight, warm and humid then for Thursday and 86. Milwaukee right now at 71 degrees, make that 70 here at 8:32. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, decision Wisconsin public safety taking center stage during Tuesday night's Democratic gubernatorial debate. State Representative and presumed frontrunner Francesca Hong was asked about past comments on defunding police departments and whether she would support cutting police funding as governor by the moderators from WISN 12, Matt Smith and Jaron Jordan. Hong says it's not her approach.
Cannot defund police, and I'm not here to govern by slogan. I'm here to make sure that I am the governor that is most serious about public safety, and that means investing in the things that we know prevent crime, in getting resources to victims, and ensuring that the people who are incarcerated and the folks who are working in our prisons are able to live a life of dignity and work with dignity.
Audio courtesy of WISN 12 News. Hong saying preventing crimes means investing in schools, mental health resources, and efforts to combat the opioid epidemic.
More reaction from last night's debate as well, and more so it wasn't what the candidates said, but what they didn't say was politics editor J.R. Ross saying that the frontrunner Hong largely escaping attacks from the rest of the field.
If you're trying to beat Francesca Hong or stop her from getting the nomination, do you have time? Do you have money? And is there a path? And as long as both Barnes and Crowder are in the race, it makes it much tougher. Because they're split in that second place vote or that kind of non-Hong vote right now in the biggest way of the remaining contenders.
The primary coming up on August 11th.
One bit of good news as communities of Menasha, Appleton, and Fox Crossing continue cleaning up after that EF3 tornado this week. Menasha Mayor Austin Hammond on Wisconsin's Midday News says so far there have been no reports of any deaths.
We attribute that to the storm coming through on a weekday, middle of the day when many people were at work. I can't imagine or fathom what the outcome of all of this might have been if it had been an evening or on a weekend.
Our news partners at NBC 26 reporting officials say 60 people were injured in the storm, most of them occurring during the tornado, with several more injuries being reported during ongoing cleanup efforts.
As summer vacation starts to wrap up for Milwaukee public school students, district leaders are finalizing plans to move hundreds of them to a new building after a devastating fire.
As a superintendent, you keep your phone on all night long and hope that you never get a call like this.
Milwaukee Public School Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalius is still processing the sudden loss of one of her elementary schools. Work is underway for about 500 Lincoln Avenue students to move into Pulaski High School.
We identified the space because it was enough space in the high school to house the elementary students separately, as well as keep the whole community together.
The first day of school is September 1st. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Trading has begun for the day, and the majors on Wall Street pregnant pause, it seems, right now as we await further information on how the Trump administration will respond to those overnight Iranian strikes. You also have Microsoft and Meta planning to release their financials today, and the Fed has a policy decision coming up later. So right now, the Dow off about 0.8%, down 450 points at 52,287. The NASDAQ, meanwhile, up slightly, 19 in the green at 24,897. And the S&P 500 is down 3 points this hour at 7,425. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyoulivematters.org today.
Hey, moms, dads, grandparents, is summer getting a little long? Kids getting bored? WTMJ's John Mercure here. How about this? Treat them to the Mine Shaft Restaurant and Entertainment Center in Hartford, the area's most affordable staycation destination. The Mine Shaft has a gigantic game room with over 70 games, including the easiest games for the little ones. And Sunday through Thursday, kids 5 and under eat free from the kids' menu. That's right, free. Get a huge 18-inch pizza, a pitcher of soda or beer, and 100 game room credits for just $44.99. The pizza easily feeds a family of 4. Coaches, bring in your soccer, baseball, and basketball team. It's super affordable team bonding. Your teenagers will really love the Mine Shaft. Take your kids to the Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh for hours of cool and comfortable fun. Kids menu starts at $3.99. Big food, big fun. The game room opens at 12 noon today. Just walk in, mineshaftRestaurant.com.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Going to be a special appearance today in the Deer District. Do you know who, Adam?
Well,
or what, I should say.
I don't know. Is it a superstar athlete, a new signing for your Milwaukee Bucks?
Not quite.
I won't tell if you won't.
The world famous, world famous Budweiser Clydesdales are going to be in the Deer District. One of the horses will make a special appearance at the Deer Garden. That's going to be tonight from 5 to 7. Fans will have an opportunity to go on up to the Clydesdale, take a picture with it. Of course, Legendary's been in those Budweiser commercials for, seems like, 70 years now, maybe more.
Yeah, we saw one, I think, in the last big game. It's almost like the Masters. It's a tradition unlike any other, you'd say.
Now, not only is the horse going to be at the Deer District, I don't know if this is kind of part of a, look, they like to market the horses, get it out there, people take pictures. They're going to have a Clydesdale, I believe, at the Ozaukee County Fairgrounds.
I think all of them are going to be there.
Okay, all of them. There we go. So they'll be at the fairgrounds. Tomorrow is kind of the, I believe, public event for that tomorrow afternoon. So some different ways to take in the Clydesdales. Yeah, Debbie's going to be there. I love it.
Well, this is news you can use because otherwise our talk and text line is going to get a call. I was just calling it about why is there a horse downtown Milwaukee? Are the Irving Cowboys doing a run in the city? Is there something going on? I need to know, newsman.
And you know what? Correct myself. They've been around 90 years, the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, 90 years.
All right. Well, don't flood the phone calls if you see a Budweiser Clydesdale walking down Velar Phillips. We are very aware, and it is part of the plan. 8:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. No horses on the freeway right now, Deb, right?
No horses on the freeway, just delays, couple of accidents.
Don't like that.
Yeah. Well, we've got an accident on the ramp from 894 eastbound to northbound 4394. Left lane is blocked in the Mitchell interchange with that one, so watch out for that. Delays are coming in from about 76th Street all the way to the Mitchell. And beyond that, northbound 4394 is backing up around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Southbound 43 backups from Good Hope Road to Bender, and northbound is backing up around the North Avenue curve past Locust. Westbound 94, you got backups from 27th Street to Hawley Road, and then just west of Highway 100 to an accident scene that's happened just before you get to Barker Road. Looks like it's a car off into the ditch on the right, so just be extra careful heading past that. Eastbound got delays from 70th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
See Europe from a completely new perspective with Fox World Travel and Avalon Waterways. Cruising down legendary rivers like the Danube or the Rhine, your luxury boutique hotel travels with you. Relax in award-winning panorama suites featuring wall-to-wall windows, enjoy premium local wine and dining, and step off directly into the heart of historic castles and villages. Your next incredible river cruise awaits. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Want to watch all your favorite WTMJ shows? Check out the WTMJ YouTube channel. Live streams of all your favorite WTMJ shows, from Wisconsin's morning news to what's on tap. See breaking news as it happens. Get involved with the action in the chat on Brewers Extra Innings, or see all the cool tools on the Fix-It Show. Missed your favorite show? We've got past live streams and interview highlights too. Subscribe to 620 WTMJ. Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levery.
Sometimes going out and making a move just for the sake of going out and making a move doesn't work out. If there's somebody that's out there that makes your team better, I know the Brewers are going to go out and make that acquisition.
This is Brewers 360.
Brewers 360, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Cannon and Dunphy. Brewers and Giants rubber match today at Oracle Park after an 8-2 victory for your crew last night. We welcome in Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering live with us on the YouTube stream this morning from sunny San Fran. Good morning, rise and shine, Jeff. How's the weather shaking out there? Looks a little bit chillier than we're dealing with over here.
Yeah, well, you get that marine layer, and you know the old adage about San Francisco. The coldest I ever was this summer I spent in San Francisco. So it is always colder in months in San Francisco than it is at any other time of the year, which is wild. But we got the marine layer kicking in. It was gorgeous yesterday. I'm sure it'll be gorgeous again today.
Yeah, 2:10 coverage starting here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ, for that one today. So we had the win last night, 8-2, Jeff, and a lot of that win came courtesy of a guy. Mike, start needing to get used to this name, Luis Lara, the 2-run triple. Well, it was already kind of well-decided 5-zip, but that 2-run 3-bagger, just another example, Jeff, of how this farm system is really contributing and really remains one of the best in baseball, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And you got the young kids that are really job for the Brewers right now. Cooper Pratt's one of the hottest hitters on the team, and Luis Lara down there at the bottom of the lineup too. The Brewers are poised to do some really good things. And I think Lara's starting to feel more comfortable out in right field too. Sal Frelick is making his way back into the starting lineup. He's still got that shoulder that's giving him time, but Lara's done a really nice job in the outfield to have his versatility, and Pratt's been as steady as it gets at the shortstop position. But to see their bats really emerge, the Brewers are winning a lot of games right now, and a lot of it is because of the bottom of the order, starting with Cooper Pratt and Luis Lara.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, with the deadline obviously coming up, we keep hearing, who are the Brewers going to add? Are they going to add to the rotation? But I'll tell you what, with Jacob Mizorowski, you're hoping Kyle Harrison comes back and shows what he did early in the year. And now you got Logan Henderson, who's been looking really good. He was solid again last night.
Yeah, the youngest rotation in Major League Baseball right now, and they're holding this team afloat. They are carrying this team, and to get 5 2/3 innings out of Logan Henderson last night, you get Shane Drone going today against Logan Webb. Drone has really stabilized this rotation too, and hopefully Kyle Harrison's not too far from coming back. But the young kids, Murph knew it going into the season. Chris Hook knew it. Jim Henderson knew it. That the young kids were going to have to prove something, and I think that they believed what they saw in spring training. I don't think they could have counted on what Shane Drone has given the Brewers so far. They were hopeful that Logan Henderson was going to stay healthy, and for the most part, as I knock on everything that I can try and find, has stayed healthy for the most part too. But what this rotation has done has been nothing short of remarkable, and just going to show that the Brewers' development of the pitching spots has been outstanding yet again.
On the deadline note, Jeff, do you see it, if the Brewers are going to be buyers, if that ultimately is how Matt Arnold pursues this, is it going to be one of these situations where it comes down to that 11th hour, we're knocking a half hour out from deadline time? Because it's been a pretty quiet front so far. I think a lot of that has to do with just some of the teams that could be sellers are right on that fence line, where if we get a couple wins here, maybe we stay and don't sell off, or if we get this free fall, we do. You have a team like the Tigers, 51 and 57. I know the Scooble talk has been hot, but they seem to insist that if we can get going, even down to those last couple days, we're not going to sell off our stock. Do you think it is going to be that 11th hour kind of situation?
I believe it's going to be 4:59 and 59 seconds. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you get it in before the bell goes off. All those trades are going to be okay. These teams that are still in the mix, and you look at the American League. The American League only has a handful of teams that are over 500 right now. So everybody's got. I'm really fascinated to see how this whole thing is going to shake out. And the Brewers are going to improve their team. However they're going to do it, they're going to try and improve their team. There is no selling whatsoever from this organization. They are going to be better after the August 3rd trade deadline. And that's the thing. The thing is that they could be better by not making a move too. Sometimes the moves you make that you don't make can be better than the moves that you do make. So I'm very confident in what this front office is looking forward to doing over the next few days before this trade deadline comes up. But this team, I believe, when you wake up on Tuesday, is going to be better than it was on Monday.
Seems like solid news for Jake Bauers. I know there was a little fear after he fouled that ball off his right toe, but seems like he should be okay is kind of what we're hearing.
Yeah, apparently he was available to pinch hit last night. So if I had a fractured toe, I'd have on, and I wouldn't be moving around. I wouldn't be doing much of anything. But for Jake Bauers, he wants to be in there. He's been such an integral part of this Brewers offense all season long. If he can play, he's going to play. But for now, avoiding the injured list is a big deal.
Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering, Brewers 360 with us from sunny San Fran. Have a good day, Jeff. Good call, and we'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Talk to you next week. See you guys.
8:49, Wisconsin's Morning News. One more time before the 9 o'clock hour, Debbie.
We do have an accident on westbound 94. It is just before you get to Barker Road. So backup starting around, I would say just west of Highway 100 all the way out to that point. Also delays through the stadium interchange because we can't just have one delay spot. We have eastbound 94 starting to slow down from 76th Street to 35th. Southbound 41 backing up from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound from Mayfair Road to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
I'm Julie Leary, and I'm part of the Cannon & Dunphy Personal Injury Team, one of the most honored and respected firms in Wisconsin. Nobody does more to help people who have been injured in a car accident. We listen, we care, and we work tirelessly to fight for the wrongly injured. Our experienced attorneys have helped car accident victims for over 40 years, and we can help you too. Call Cannon & Dunphy to speak with one of us. I believe nobody does it better.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Another beautiful one in store for us today. Sunny, 80 degrees, not a lot of humidity. Really kind of a sunny stretch here. Up until Friday, we'll see maybe some more shower and storm chances, which is good as we continue in northeast Wisconsin to clean up following the EF3 tornado from Monday. We'll have more on that story with a different angle on it coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Wanted to bring this back to you because I was wondering how long it was going to take before the footage became public. And as it turns out, it took less than a week. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office just in the last few hours releasing body cam footage of last week's arrest of former Dallas Cowboys quarterback, current CBS broadcaster, and Burlington, Wisconsin native Tony Romo. The mugshot making the headlines last week as Romo was arrested on the high-rise bridge on 43 just south of downtown.
Where are you coming from?
The golf course. And I'm going to meet Grandma and Grandpa.
So the sheriff's office releasing this footage. It's been obtained by basically every outlet under the sun at this point. Ultimately, Romo, during that traffic stop, was told by the deputy, you heard her there at the start of the clip. If it was a little hard to hear, that's because, remember, you're on top of the high-rise bridge. This was during the evening hour, but not super late at night. It was still daylight out when this was happening.
I think it was like 6 o'clock. So, yeah, I mean, you had kind of evening rush hour kind of going on, and there were a lot of cars driving by.
I've always wondered, and I'm not going to assume the deputy knows who Tony Romo is, but I'd always have wondered for whenever we see these high-profile body cam arrests, if the officer has that moment of recognition, because we saw, I think there was the one where Vince McMahon, the WWE longtime head, was like zooming down, and then he pulls over and it's just, oh my gosh, it's Vince McMahon. I wonder if the deputy had that moment of, wait a minute, is that
when I watched it, that's what I was wondering the whole time. It didn't seem like, at least in my opinion, like she really knew who it was. And even when he did take out his ID to give it to the deputy, I felt like in the video, he kind of holds it there, like thinking, oh, she's going to read and see, oh, Romo. But I don't really think she knew. At least I didn't think so.
Or she certainly didn't show her hand if she did. Ultimately, Romo taken away from the bridge to perform a field sobriety test at a separate location. And I know one of the questions is, well, wait a minute, why was he put in cuffs? Why was he taken away? Well, at least the taken away part, I can say that when you're conducting these field sobriety tests from the law enforcement perspective, you want to make sure it's on a level ground, flat surface, because this is the part where this arrest happened, where the bridge starts to make its descent southbound past Jones Island and down to the south side of Milwaukee. So they took Romo to a separate facility. He was asked by the deputy about prior head injuries, interestingly.
Any head injuries?
Excuse me?
Any head injuries recently? Any concussions?
Well, over the years, yes, but not recently. No.
There it is. Ultimately, Romo refusing to take the breathalyzer, and that's what led to the refusal citation that he's now facing.
You willing to submit to a PBT?
What is that?
Machine that you blow in?
It's a preliminary drug test.
It does not determine the results of my
No,
test.
we're not doing that.
Okay.
I've already heard from all the lawyers, don't ever do that.
Okay.
So
All right.
we're not going to do that.
Okay. All right, sir.
Did I pass this test?
You turn around.
No, I didn't. Huh?
No comment from the deputy. Also, you see at different parts of the video, Romo appearing to have to stretch before ultimately taking those steps. One time made mention of the golf outing that he was at earlier, actually multiple times in the video, because he was earlier that day in the state amateur up in West Bend.
And when he's in the facility, then conducting the test, like you said, stretched, I think took his socks off so that he was like, I need a little better footing. I kind of heard him say that. So, yeah, it was, him trying to pass it, but clearly they did not think he did a good enough job on it.
So now the question is, what comes next? It's the classic question we have to ask. And so what is the legal response going to be? I've seen it floated a lot that there are a lot of people, and I say legal experts in quotes because I can't verify everybody's credentials that I see, but people have suggested that there were maybe some things in this video that were a little questionable in terms of conduct. I don't want to speak on that. I'm not a law enforcement expert myself, and I've never been pulled over for first offense operating while intoxicated, so I don't have experience there either. However, I will be interested to see if there's any official response from CBS. They have not commented so far. People have reached out. CBS is staying mum on this. I would be shocked on initial glance because remember, first offense OWI in Wisconsin, not a criminal matter. This is at most going to be a $300 fine, and it's on your record. But at some point you think unless under the advice of my legal team, I will not be commenting on this, but Romo's the kind of guy, I wouldn't be shocked if he tries to say something about it, maybe against the better advice of his legal team. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, and we've got football season around the corner, right? He's working for CBS. He's with Jim Nantz. So, yeah, does he say something? I guess we'll only have to wait and see.
That September 21st court date. Romo, by the way, not required to appear in court, and I feel like just gut instinct tells me that guy like Romo for a $300 ticket, I would be shocked if he is. Although that would be probably the most highly attended first offense OWI citation hearing in Milwaukee County history. 8:50 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Old Republic Risk Management could soon swap its longtime Brookfield office for a new $60 million headquarters on Executive Drive, as the city weighs public incentives to keep the insurer in Wisconsin. The Medical College of Wisconsin has broken ground on its first on-campus student housing complex, 266-unit development set to open in 2028. Milwaukee is moving forward with a plan to lease about 50,000 square feet of the former Midtown Central Walmart for $1 annually, as the city looks to transform the vacant space into a community hub. I'm Juan Lasso with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with the goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
The other day I received a call from a customer who had these beautiful old tables that at one time were covered with glass tops. But one day a coffee mug dropped, and just like that, those beautiful tables went right into retirement. You know how it goes. Once a glass top of a set of tables breaks, they go into the basement or the garage and do a great job at collecting dust. The customer never knew who could help, but when she asked, I readily said, "Oh, we can replace that. In fact, there are a lot of things we can do with glass. We could even sandblast a beautiful custom design into your new glass tops." This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
The road leads west. Next stop, San Francisco.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He strikes out the side in the fourth. Strikeout number 11 for Jacob Mizorowski. Stand and applaud.
The Brewers take on the Giants today at Oracle Park. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 2:10 on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
9:02, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, July 29th. Our top story, one last shot for the Democratic gubernatorial nominees.
I'm Neil Doyle, and for Eric Bilstead, Dr. Fauci invokes the fifth.
Mostly sunny, humidity down, 80 degrees, your high, clear and 64 overnight tonight. Plenty of sun and 71 degrees in Milwaukee at 9:02. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, decision Wisconsin with the Democratic primary for governor 2 weeks away. Two of the candidates on the debate stage Tuesday night pushing back on the idea that voters would be wasting their ballots by supporting their campaigns.
During Tuesday night's debate, Joel Brennan and Kelda Royce, both polling in the single digits, were asked whether voters should back someone else. Brennan says his experience sets him apart.
I served as the top appointee to Governor Evers. We created the largest budget surplus in state history. The challenge I have had is that people don't know me as well as they know some other candidates around the state.
Royce says she's ready to govern on day one.
I am the candidate in this race that brings the most experience in and around state government. I've been the candidate that has turned progressive ideas into law. That kind of experience is absolutely essential.
The winner of the August Democratic primary will likely face Republican Congressman Tom Tiffany in November. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
And debate audio courtesy of WISN 12 News.
Dr. Anthony Fauci on Capitol Hill today to testify before a Senate committee about the origins of COVID-19. But in his opening statement, he invoked his Fifth Amendment right.
Because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions.
Leading up to the hearing before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, Senator Rand Paul, who chairs that committee, released more than 1,000 pages of Fauci's private diary entries.
Someday, science will come up with a way to manufacture synthetic blood or create it in a lab, but ABC's Jim Ryan says that is still years away.
In the meantime, the only source of blood for medical procedures is humans.
We need people to step up.
Matt Trotter is with the American Red Cross, which has declared a national blood supply emergency.
If 3 more people came to every Red Cross blood drive over the next month, we would be out of this crisis.
The nonprofit has been hit from both sides, a seasonal increase in demand for blood products and a precipitous decline in donors. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Entire blocks have now been transformed after that tornado that hit the Fox Valley this week.
The monster twister that tore through Menasha created a new reality that's almost impossible to comprehend. Homes ripped apart, cars flipped, trees snapped.
I am very saddened to see so many in our community struggling right now.
Menasha Mayor Austin Hammond tells Wisconsin's Midday News he's incredibly grateful there are minimal injuries and no known deaths, but the city's road to recovery will be a long one.
It is heartbreaking to see the destruction that this severe storm and tornado have caused on home, personal property, infrastructure, public spaces, businesses. My heart goes out to everybody.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is off more than 1% this hour, down 645 points. The NASDAQ off 82 and the S&P 500 down 23. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. More details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:06.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on fresh 90% lean ground beef, $5.99 a pound, 1 pound fresh strawberries, $3.49, large sweet peaches, $2.49 a pound, 7 to 10 ounce selected varieties, essential everyday potato chips or salty snacks, 2 for $4.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
There's not a bad time to better insulate your home, but there is a better time, and it's right now. Vince Vitrano here just talked with Jeff from USA Insulation. Jeff says they always get busy in the fall and early winter as everyone's concerned about keeping their houses warm. But doing a project with USA Insulation does just as well to keep your house cooler in the summer months and saving you money on your electric bills. Tell Jeff Vinny told you want the government rebates and discounts that can save you thousands on your project. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Training camp day in Wisconsin. Your Green Bay Packers taking the practice field at Ray Nitschke. They begin preparations for the 2026 season. Before practice, General Manager Brian Gutekunst expected to meet with the media for the first time since the April draft.
We're looking at that from a lot of different angles to make sure that we're playing our best football in December and January. I think that hasn't been the case the last 2 years, and it's really imperative that through process and people that we make sure that we take a long look at that.
All-Pro linebacker Micah Parsons will enter camp on the physically unable to perform list. 10:30 a.m. sharp at Ray Nitschke Field. And your Milwaukee Brewers going for the series win this afternoon against the Giants. Our coverage starts at 2:10 here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Take a look at the roads, your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Got a couple of crashes to report. We've got one over in Waukesha County, 94 westbound, just beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. We've got a crash kind of blocking part of the right shoulder, so seeing some backups to Elm Grove Road. Also have an accident right in the Mitchell interchange. This is 894 eastbound the ramp to get onto 94 northbound. We've got a crash there, so seeing some backups if you're trying to make your way through the Mitchell in that stretch. Typical delays, 94 east and westbound through the Stadium interchange between 35th and Hawley. Same thing on 41. Some typical tapping of the brakes in our work zone there. Everything else looking good.
Your WTMJ forecast, mostly sunny, humidity down today, 80 degrees your high, 64 and clear overnight. Humidity back on Thursday, 86. Scattered showers likely Friday, more showers Saturday, and sun returns on Sunday. Milwaukee right now at 71 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios of the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Adam Roberts and Neil Doyle.
9:10 on a WTMJ Wednesday morning. Adam and Neil in with you till 10 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News. Good morning again, Neil. I'm using up my good mornings now since I neglected to say it at all in the first half of the show.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be hanging out.
Happy to have you, and happy to be joined in studio by our friend and teammate WTMJ's Kristen Bry, one half, the better half, sources say, of WTMJ's Point Taken. Good morning. Happy post-debate Wednesday, Kristen.
Happy Wednesday. Happy post-debate. We have another forum tonight. I'm a little disappointed for the people who are watching the YouTube stream right now that you two are not wearing matching Hawaiian shirts.
Well, we could have coordinated.
Because I feel like that really would have been a special hump day edition of Morning News.
It would have been.
Well, we do have another Thursday edition coming tomorrow.
That's
And
true.
my closet, if you were to look in, it is just... It's almost like I'm always preeminently preparing to take a flight to Hawaii this time of year. Hey, fashion scent, different strokes for different folks. Wanted to get your instant reactions with us, Kristen. You, of course, are very dialed into the Democratic gubernatorial candidates, and we had our 1 hour Channel 12 debate. First off, format, yay or nay. You had 5 candidates, 1 hour, Matt and Jaron doing a great job keeping things on track as good as they could have. What'd you think?
I thought well, first of all, I texted Matt Smith immediately and I was like, you guys crushed it. As far as immediately getting into hard questions, I think they basically started with each candidate on the hardest question they could with each, like specific to that person, which I thought was great. I thought without having to cut mics, without having to have a beeper or something like that, they kept, you could tell a couple people ran long, but they were stern and they're like, all right, thank you. Thank you. There was one point that I love that I want to go back and clip where both Jaron and Matt at the same time say, thank you, Mr. Barnes. Because he just like kept going on.
Barnes was the one I noticed that was going through the most.
Wrap it up, buddy.
Yep.
My instant reaction beyond how well the format was, especially because I think a lot of these forums up until this debate, for people who have gone to a lot of them, they drone on because it was 7 for most of this time, right? But even with 5, it's a lot of people. So I did not feel like it was droning on at all. The biggest surprise is that it wasn't ugly.
Yeah.
Like
no fireworks or
there
very
was
few.
There was a couple things here and there, but as far as especially compared to if anyone watched the clips of the Michigan Senate debate that got very ugly, like it was refreshing that it didn't. Now, strategy-wise, I think for everyone, they needed to go after Hong more if they were going to try to show her any of her weaknesses. But I think for the sake of getting the issues out there, understanding where everyone stands on a lot of issues that people really care about, I thought everyone was able to articulate where they stood, and there was enough pushback on certain things to get them to clarify what they mean. I do think my biggest gripe is I feel like we need to spend more time on the tax issue because they all said, because we looked this up afterwards, and unless I'm getting my data wrong, and Google led me astray, but they all said they would increase the tax somewhere between like 0.8 and 0.9 on the marginal tax rate for
1%.
People who have an income of over $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
How many people do you think in Wisconsin have an annual income of over $1 million?
I ain't in that statistic. I'll tell you that much.
No, me neither.
It's only 5,200 people.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit more of the actual math when we talk about taxing the rich. I think Joel did a great job of bringing up the manufacturing and agricultural tax credit. That's something that a lot of people don't know about as far as there's no job requirements when you get that. There's a lot of money that we lose as far as tax revenue. But I'm glad that they got pressed on that of like, who is the wealthy when we talk about the wealthy? And in reality, it's not annual income. It's assets. It's accumulation of wealth that isn't taxed by state income tax.
Going back to maybe the lack of fireworks, was that maybe strategy among the other candidates? Again, Francesca Hong and all the polling has led. So I was surprised to not really see anybody kind of go after her. Did they think maybe she would say things that they didn't need to attack? But then she didn't really say much that nobody really did, again, not go after her. I was surprised by that.
I don't know I don't know. I mean, it had to have been, right? Because it's you either do or you don't. Either find an opportunity to get a dig in there or like in your practice. Like I was actually with an old friend last night who I did not realize was involved in one of the campaigns. And I'm not going to say which candidate, but he was like part of debate prep, right? Like all these people do debate prep and they have stand-ins for people who are going to be the other candidates. And he had played one of the other candidates. And so like they play out these scenarios in their practice for this. And so it had to have been like stay above the fray was the choice.
So now, as we look, we're 2 weeks out, less than 2 weeks out now from August 11th. We have a Marquette poll coming out today, kind of a flash poll kind of situation, because we had last week's. Obviously, there's the mini asterisk with the Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez's situation. But now we'll get this poll today, and then that's kind of it. It's you decide. Early voting's already underway. Absentee ballots are flowing in the thousands and thousands. Was this, in terms of non-Hong candidates, a miss in terms of, as you mentioned, there really were no direct call-outs of her policy issues? Was this their last shot to do it, and did they miss that chance?
No, I think there was, and I'll get into it more with Steve right at the 10 o'clock hour, but I think because they didn't get ugly, there were opportunities for people to demonstrate their understanding of how politics work, how governing works. And so for me, I actually think that people who came across with sounding like they had the most details and the most experience were Joel and Kelda. I thought Fran had a really strong performance. I think it was really good for her to separate herself from the national DSA platform with that viral video coming from Fox this week. And I think she had some really strong moments, and she came off more pragmatic and practical than I think she's going to be painted or already has been painted. So I think if you're looking, depending on what you're looking for, as far as it being political ideology and policy alignment, if you're looking for who seems to have the most details and the most experience, I think there still were things that happened last night that could either change or solidify your leaning.
Some voters will get a chance to see the 5 candidates together again tonight. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is hosting a town hall. You are emceeing that event. I believe it's already sold out, but just kind of explain what the purpose of the town hall is this evening.
This is specifically about data centers. So I think data centers is a fascinating unicorn issue in that it is not polarized or partisan. There is pretty uniform disapproval. I think in the last Marquette poll last week, it was a 76% the costs outweigh the benefits. And it was, I forgot how many, it was majority Republicans and even more. I think it was 66 Republicans said that and 88% Democrats said that. And it is an issue that touches so many different issues that voters care about: the environment, economic development, local governance and TIFs and taxes, water and energy, affordability. It touches all of these different things. And I think it's also just a proxy for people's uncertainty and even anger over AI as a movement. And so we decided to have one forum where all the questions are focused on that. So I am, like you said, at the MC. We have 2-minute videos that all the candidates submitted that we're going to play ahead of the actual panel. Jesse Opoyan from Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel will be moderating the actual question portion. And we also have 4 citizen voters who are asking questions too. And so we've seen their questions already. And it spans the gamut of, we have a union worker who's working on the Vantage project right now and whose job relies on these kind of building projects. We have someone who cares about national defense and what this means as far as our race with China. We have someone who cares about the environment. There is so many different angles to this topic. And so that's why we thought it deserved its own deep dive and forum.
Will there be a mention of Beyonce tonight? Because I don't know if you caught this. I did not know this was apparently a thing. So County Executive David Crowley, when the candidates were asked about data centers last night, I want to make sure I get the quote right. As governor, we'll make sure we hold these data centers accountable, that they pay for energy use, pay for grid updates, and they bring the Beyonce approach, bring your own clean energy, which, first of all, if you're trying to do the Beyonce, you missed the first E in Beyonce. So I don't know what he was going for there. Have you ever heard of this before?
No.
Bring your own clean energy. It was said so quickly, too. It's almost like he wasn't 100% sure if it would land. Just get it so that you leave people questioning, did he just incur Queen Bee in his closing statement on this?
I've never heard that before. I don't think that's a thing. It's kind of like fetch. It's not a thing.
Stop trying to make it happen, David.
Now, do you think, going back just to the debate last night and then even, the town hall event today, I mean, we've seen in these polling, at least the last Marquette one, still a lot of undecided Democratic voters. Does it feel like maybe the debate last night swayed some of those people, or do you think still?
If they watched,
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what we find for both the ratings last night of people who watched it live, like I did, or the YouTube views, because it is up. So if you missed it last night, you can go watch the whole thing. It's only an hour. I highly suggest you go watch it. It is not a waste of time. If you are an undecided voter, that's what it's part of the reason I was late this morning. I wasn't late.
No,
I cut it close
you were here.
because I was like suggesting on social media, like if you did not realize there was a debate last night and you were an undecided voter, it is well worth your time to go watch it.
WTMJ's Kristen Bry, the pregame to the point-taking conversation coming up at 10 with Steve Scafidi. Kristen, thanks for hopping in.
Thanks, guys.
9:21.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. With over 40 years of experience saving businesses money, we are on a mission to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. Try saying that 5 times fast. Do you lose sleep at night trying to figure out how to make the next payroll? Are your vendors lined up outside your door? Are you cash on delivery? We can help. We have a proven process and strategy to turn your cash-sucking business into a cash-generating machine, so you can keep that cash in your pocket. It really works. We use it in our business, and many clients are successfully using it in their business. Ask Pam, who recently bought a business and asked us to help her see through the fog. Would you like to sleep at night knowing your bills are paid, take a vacation, or go out to eat with your spouse? You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us at 414-325-2040 to set up a complimentary consultation. That's 414-325-2040, or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Lots of Wisconsin still rolling in from last night's Democratic gubernatorial primary. And some news on Wisconsin Eye, the public affairs broadcaster, airing hearings, conferences, floor sessions in the state capitol. Some movement on securing some funding, at least for now. For more on both of these, we welcome in WIS Politics editor J.R. Ross, joining us on our WTMJ YouTube stream. Text WATCH to 855-616-1620. Good morning, J.R. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Not too shabby. Well, we'll get to the Wisconsin Eye news I originally brought you on for in a sec, but did want to get your Insta reacts to the debate last night. It seemed going in that Representative Francesca Hong, the clear front runner, did that gap widen considerably in your eyes following last night's debate?
I think one safe conclusion from talking to people is that nobody went after Francesca Hong, which is interesting. Usually when you have a front runner, you want to try and take them down a peg. The fact they passed on that opportunity was noteworthy. The only real swipe was from Mandela Barnes at David Crowley, that basically his campaign been resurrected by, these special interests because he got back into the race. The question now is, if you're trying to beat Francesca Hong or stop her from getting the nomination, do you have time? Do you have money? And is there a path? And as long as both Barnes and Crowley are in the race, it makes it much tougher because they're split in that second place vote or that kind of non-Hong vote right now in the biggest way of the remaining contenders.
Well, was it interesting, JR, to kind of hear Francesca Hong when asked about public safety? All the candidates were, but maybe kind of walked back previous comments she's had about defunding police and said she would not do so as governor. Was also asked about her comments after the police shooting in Madison, where she joined a crowd of protesters and basically called it a state-sanctioned execution. She said last night she wouldn't have came out and said that if she was governor until kind of the investigation. So it seemed like she was kind of maybe walking back some of those comments and kind of maybe trying to play things more in the middle.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch. So if she becomes a nominee, like Republicans have a string of tweets, past statements, video, et cetera, to go after her on, these public safety issues. The question I kind of have, though, is will that outweigh the cost concerns? What I mean by that is if you look at polling, the number one concern for people like up and down the ticket is the cost of living, inflation. That is really causing problems for Republicans because Donald Trump is in the White House. A lot of his decisions are kind of impacting those economic factors. So, yeah, you can paint Hong as anti-law enforcement, all these things. Is that what people care about in this election? That I don't know. We won't really kind of feel that until like October-ish. But it's going to be a challenge for Hong if she is a nominee Is she going to walk back those past statements and look inauthentic, or say, hey, I've changed because of A, B, and C, or yeah, I've said that, but the real problem is this. And she's trying to walk this line of law enforcement saying, hey, we should invest in things to prevent crime. Robin Voss, some of the Speaker Republicans, they're the ones who have not invested in shared revenue, which is the state aid local governments to help pay for law enforcement. Don't know if it'll work, but that's the tack she's be taking right now.
WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. So, J.R., while a lot of the attention the last couple of days was on the debate and the build-up to it, you were mentioning in your PM update some information earlier this week on Wisconsin Eye. So just to people quickly caught up, the organization broadcasts the happenings at the state capitol, but has been on and off the air at times due to funding issues. Well, the legislature's Joint Committee on Legislative Organization, JCLO, voting to give WisI $50,000 a month now through December. Now, in previous conversations, JR, I've had with John Henkes, president and CEO, he's told me before they didn't want to be in this position where we come back on the air and then we're constantly in this will we, won't we stay on situation. Is it likely, though, that this process of monthly installments instead of just a flat solution to this issue likely going to be the path forward, given we saw those two competing matters in the legislature and the Senate and nothing really came from either?
Well, leadership hasn't said much about this move yet. I've called all the offices, the four leaders, to ask, hey, why this approach? Remember, back in February, the same committee gave Wisconsin $50,000 to get it back on the air after it went off. This is not a permanent solution from what I can tell so far. Those two bills you mentioned, one, there's been $10 million set aside by the state for a couple of years now for Wisconsin to seek in matching funds. They haven't done that yet. One idea is take that money and put it into a fund that draws interest, and you kind of fund the network going forward. The Senate passed a different bill that would basically put out a request for proposal to permanently run a network, but you would give money up front to keep it on the air. The big question is, come January, lawmakers are back in session. What will they do to keep this going? And for full disclosure, I do a weekly show on Wisconsin called Rewind, so I'm a part of that. Like, they're a partner with us at times, but this is kind of a really valuable tool for lobbyists. People are like tied in the Capitol. And talking to lawmakers, though, they love it because they can watch hearings from their offices and keep their staff can keep in touch with what's going on. But constituents aren't really that plugged into it. They don't get calls like, we need Wisconsin Eye. So while we in the media love it and people involved in the Capitol love it, some of them don't see a huge need to do this. And Dan Fine was the one lone vote against this on the JCLO, basically called a necessary expense. They're not in session until January, question why we're doing this. So the fate of that network is to be determined in the future, but this money will keep on the air through the end of the year. It also gives certainty to pitch to donors of, hey, we're going to be around till at least the end of this year. If you're thinking about writing a check, we're a more stable organization than we were before.
WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross, thanks for hopping on this morning, J.R. We'll talk soon.
Hey, you guys have a great day.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club is the most beautiful, unique, and affordable summer dining destination. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free, including prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday, desserts and ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. Order a hand-cut choice ribeye steak, pan-seared scallops, the roasted duck, pan-fried walleye, pasta, the ribs, any entree, your second dinner is free. 7 nights a week. Wow, what a value. Relax with a cold beverage on that patio in the woods, then dinner in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. Your second dinner is free. It is a dining experience at the historic Fox and Hounds. The award-winning Fox and Hounds Supper Club off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The drive through the Kettle Moraine is stunning. A Wisconsin summer must-see. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive and free dinner at the Fox and Hounds. So step away from your kitchen, call and reserve your free dinner today. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle, for a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
When you're at the State Fair, be sure to check out the Big 5-9 main stage, featuring amazing acts like Nelly, For King and Country, Winona Judd, Melissa Etheridge, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Big 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Big 5-9 at the Wisconsin State Fair between August 6th and August 16th. Member FDIC.
Dr. Anthony Fauci about his response to the coronavirus, his advice during the pandemic, and its origins.
You were not a detached observer. You had an institutional interest in the public believing that federally funded research had nothing to do with the pandemic. It was a conflict of interest from the very beginning.
Fauci strongly denied. Temperatures are forecast to hit 104 degrees today. Iran launching a barrage of missiles at American forces in the Middle East. The U.S. partnering with Saudi Arabia to also hit Iran-backed militias in neighboring Iraq. Oil prices jumping back up there again amid the fighting. The markets are sinking as well. Dow down 752. Federal Reserve's Policy Board expected this afternoon to keep interest rates steady. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:32. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, decision Wisconsin, reaction pouring in still from Tuesday night's Democratic gubernatorial debate. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, among the five on stage, says his background has prepared him to lead the state. Crowley re-entered the race after previously dropping out and has recently faced backlash due to a controversial X account. He says he understands the challenges, though, that many families face in Wisconsin.
I grew up in the 53206 zip code where I had to work extremely hard for everything that I have. And so I'm not here to protect the establishment. I'm here to deliver real results for Wisconsinites all over our state. I like to make decisions based off of the data, based off of facts. And we learned ever since that day that a lot of things have changed and we were going off of false data. So we know that the stakes are too high this upcoming election. And that's why I got back into this race.
Audio courtesy of WISN 12 News. The primary election now less than 2 weeks away.
A Wisconsin appeals court has overturned a ruling that would have restored collective bargaining rights for most public workers. The court reversing a Dane County judge's decision that struck down Act 10, the 2011 law championed by former Governor Scott Walker that sharply limited collective bargaining for most public employees. The ruling keeps the law in place while unions appealed the case to the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Public Affairs Network Wisconsin I will stay on the air through at least the end of this year. This after lawmakers approved temporary funding this week. The legislature's Joint Committee on Legislative Organization approving the $50,000 a month payments now through December. WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross.
This is not a permanent solution from what I can tell so far. The fate of that network is to be determined in the future, but this money will keep on the air through the end of the year. It also gives certainty to pitch to donors of, hey, we're going to be around till at least the end of this year. If you're thinking about writing a check, we're a more stable organization than we were before.
Lawmakers are still expected to revisit a permanent funding plan for WISI when they return to Madison in January.
City leaders in Wauwatosa moving forward with the project to replace the City Hall and Library complex. The $107 million project getting the thumbs up from council members last night in a 10-1 vote. Alderman Joe Phillips.
I think we just really need to be clear about the choice here. It's not a spend versus save. It's we're going to spend either way. The question is whether we spend to patch a building that no longer serves this community or whether we invest in one that will.
Again, that project would replace both of those buildings. Construction would begin next year.
City services still slow in Menasha after an EF3 tornado devastates the Fox Valley earlier this week. Mayor of Menasha, Austin Hammond, on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The power is out everywhere, but on the outskirts of the community, there's a lot open and a lot that is accessible. And we've worked collaboratively with many entities to have shelters that are up and running to provide meals and water and a cool place to be and a place to charge your phone during these difficult times.
A boil water order remains in effect for portions of both Menasha and the village of Fox Crossing.
The Wisconsin Department of Revenue taking steps to shut down operations at the Minocqua Brewing Company. The DOR issuing notices revoking brewers' permits at 2 Minocqua brewing locations, along with the company's warehouse permit. The DOR says the action stems from violations of Wisconsin alcohol beverage laws. Owner Kirk Bangstad, a liberal activist, outspoken critic of President Trump, and was originally in the Democratic gubernatorial race, now has until August 4th to appeal. Bangstad says they will continue to operate while that appeal moves forward.
Less than an hour to go until training camp 2026 opens for your Green Bay Packers. They'll take the field today at Ray Nitschke Field in Green Bay to begin prep for the 2026 season. General Manager Brian Gutekunst speaking with the media now with a message to the newcomers in Green Bay looking for a roster spot.
Eyes are on them all the time, and how they fit into our culture, what the long-term possibilities for those players that are competing for a roster spot for the first time. All that comes into play. But at the end of the day, everybody gets different opportunities, and you got to make the most of the opportunities that you have.
All-Pro linebacker Micah Parsons will officially begin camp on the physically unable to perform list. That first practice again, kicking off in just under an hour.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update with a surprise attack by Iran overnight. Now President Trump teasing possibly more strikes. The market's all in the red this morning. The Dow off more than 770 points at 51,973. The Nasdaq down nearly 1% at 24,629. And the S&P 500 is off about 53 points at 7,375. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ time saver traffic still working on this crash. 894 heading over to 94 north, right in the Mitchell left lane. It looks like it was blocked earlier in the 8 o'clock hour. Now looks like things have been taken care of. This is going to be now focused on the left shoulder as you make the turn. So just be mindful as that's still being attended to. Elsewhere, typical delays, 4145, anywhere between, looks like Silver Spring heading south to Burleigh and northbound from Highway 100 up to Capitol Drive. 94 also going to be just a touch slow right around American Family Field, either direction.
Plenty of sunshine today. Will be less humid as well. High getting up around 80 degrees. Tonight then mostly clear, low down to 64. For Thursday will be partly cloudy, a bit warmer and humid with a high of 86. And then into Friday, could see some scattered showers, cloudy skies with a high near 80. Right now 70 degrees in Milwaukee.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ news time is 9:38.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the Rock Solid Pre-Approval Guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified Rock Solid Pre-Approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 Rock Solid Seller Guarantee. Get started with yours today at ACCUNET.com.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Fruit store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on fresh 90% lean ground beef, $5.99 a pound, 1 pound fresh strawberries, $3.49, large sweet peaches, $2.49 a pound, 7 to 10 ounce selected varieties, essential everyday potato chips or salty snacks, 2 for $4.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
It's 9:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, audio tapes are available from former President Joe Biden. These tapes and a transcript getting released yesterday. This was from interviews that he did with a ghostwriter of his memoir. And again, now those tapes released to the public.
Special Prosecutor Robert Hurt declined to file charges, saying that Biden could present to the jury as a sympathetic elderly man with a poor memory. The DOJ released the redacted material after the Conservative Heritage Foundation sued for access and won. Biden had previously fought to keep the audio sealed, but dropped his appeal last week. A Biden spokesman blasted the release, saying, quote, making them public is just the latest example of this administration weaponizing the DOJ for political retribution.
It's News Nation's Margaret Chadbourne there. The 2016 and 2017 tapes were part of an investigation into his handling of classified documents. Again, a pretty long transcript, and I believe it's a couple of hours of audio.
Yeah, I was seeing like 3 hours on these tapes. This group, the Heritage Foundation, was the entity that released them. They were in this legal battle with the former president prior to the release.
And President Biden had been fighting to not have these tapes released, but then ultimately he and his legal team kind of gave up on that battle, withdrawing their legal challenges earlier this week, and now they are out there.
9:42, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Leading a nonprofit takes more than heart. It takes the right leader with the skills, experience, and passion to move your mission forward. Vince Vitrano here for Spano Pratt. They focus exclusively on nonprofit executive searches, from discovering high-caliber candidates to rigorous assessment and selection to engaging and aligning your board of directors throughout the process. Spano Pratt doesn't just fill roles. They help you find leaders who truly align with your purpose and mission. SpanoPratt.com.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Write It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here.
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go, thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com. Point taken with Scafidi and Bry.
At this late stage of this, we are in the midst of a race. We have no idea what might happen. The hold your nose era of voting.
Yeah, I mean, here's your choice. Do you vote for a guy who voted to overturn free and fair elections, or do you vote for someone who you fundamentally disagree with, who's a democratic socialist? It's not a great way to run state government.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ. And check out the weekly newsletter, Extra Points, by texting EXTRA to the talk and text line.
9:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Keeping an eye on the situation to our neighbors up in northeast Wisconsin as cleanup continues following this week's EF3 tornado that ripped through the Fox Valley, South Appleton, Menasha hard hit, and portions of Neenah as well. One angle we wanted to explore was the utility situation there. So the numbers of customers without power right now is still in the thousands, around 8,200. We Energy's customers largely centered in the Fox Valley, still without power. You've got about 3,400 of those in Appleton proper, about 1,100 or so in Menasha, and about 1,300 in Neenah. So making up the lion's share there of these outages. And I was listening, Neil, we had a press briefing yesterday from several representatives, both from both cities as well as Outagamie and Winnebago County. And it came up, this idea, as we're relating to these power outages and people asking questions. You had the We Energies representatives there of, when can we expect some sort of clarity on when things will be fully restored? We Energies has said over and over again they're working to get things up and as quickly as possible. They'll always point you, as they always do, to the number of customers they have restored power. But they made a distinction, they did, during the press availability on what is and isn't their responsibility.
The city of Menasha has its own municipal electric utility, so those are not customers that are served by We Energies. However, We Energies does serve a number of the communities in and around Menasha, here in the Fox Valley, including Appleton and other areas surrounding that, Neenah as well.
So I heard them say specifically that, and it got me thinking, where have we heard this before? This idea of We Energies making it clear that public utilities would be separate from their offerings.
Yeah, right here in Milwaukee.
We have indeed. There has been the ongoing discussion, which ratcheted up a little bit last week on a public utility model being considered in the city of Milwaukee, specifically being pushed by one Alderman Alex Brower, who won election to his 3rd district seat largely on that premise that he was going to remove We Energies from the city of Milwaukee and begin this public utility.
Yeah, and that was part of the conversation during a committee meeting at City Hall last week. Now, the premise of it was to have We Energies representatives show up to the committee, present, why We Energies is currently seeking a rate hike in their upcoming proposal for 2027 and 2028. But then it kind of dove into, again, Alderman Brower and his kind of push for a public utility and doing away with We Energies here in the city of Milwaukee. Brower kind of questioning, why customers should have to face higher bills. And again, We Energy is owned by the larger WEC Energy Group as they continue to kind of report, strong earnings, dividend growth. So Brower, again, pushing this public power proposal. Now, he's not alone. Alderman Bob Bauman was also in that first meeting we heard about this, public utility push in Milwaukee from Alderman Brower. Alderman Bauman was on that committee as well. And he also kind of pressed We Energies last week and kind of the role of shareholder profit within the company. Bauman arguing that, reliable service and affordable rates may be important goals for We Energies, but investor returns, he claims, remains kind of the central part of a privately owned utility.
The prime directive of your business is return on investment, because absent shareholders, none of you would have a job. The shareholder return is critical to every privately owned corporation ever invented, that ever existed.
And that's kind of Alderman Bauman and Brower's push. Again, look, privately owned utility, they've got certain directives they might want to go. That's what they claim. Now, again, there were several We Energies representatives at this committee hearing. One of them, Bert Garvin, who is a VP of External Affairs for WEC Energy Group. And during the meeting, he did acknowledge, he said, look, shareholder return is part of the company's kind of rate structure, but he said, they're reviewed, they are approved by state regulators. At the end of the day, they want to offer the lowest rates they can to their customers. But look, currently they are proposing a rate hike for the upcoming year and the year after. So it's, again, kind of tying back to this push for a public utility here in Milwaukee. And, with the storms that rolled through in Menasha, they are having their own public utility have to work as hard as they can to try to restore power to those residents.
I would caution anyone who might be considering using any sort of example of the time it's taking to get power back on in the Menasha community as, your case example of, well, see why this is why it wouldn't work in the city. Look how long it's taking. I would caution you and not advise you to use that argument in this case, because on the one hand, yes, it's going to take time, but it's not every day an EF3 tornado comes through and rips through a heavily urban populated area. If that happened in any community, it's going to take time. So it's not apples to apples here, but I do anticipate that could become a talking point. I would not expect it to be widely shared, but just keep that in mind.
No, for those that are maybe not on board with, the city of Milwaukee pursuing a public utility option. Yeah, I think they would point to this, but like you said, probably not a good way to compare it because you're dealing with a major tornado.
Yeah, and 9,000 customers for a Menasha municipal utility versus, the city of Milwaukee right now, somewhere around 570,000 people. So again, very different situations. 9:50 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You know what scared Kathy more than surgery? Giving up her active life, turning down opportunities to do the things she loves.
I found myself saying, no, I don't want to do that because of pain. It was really limiting my activities in every way.
And then came the diagnosis.
You need 2 full knee replacements. I don't have time for a double knee replacement, and I don't like pain, so no.
But that's not how her story ends. She tried something different, QC Kinetics. It was cutting edge, but natural and much easier on her body, with thousands of patient success stories.
I went to QC Kinetics. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free, no pain. I feel fantastic. Too much life to live, and I want to stay in motion as long as I possibly can.
Don't let pain decide what you say yes or no to. Live your best life. They'll make sure of it at QC Kinetics, starting with a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Why do we have so many successful, long-term clients that started out with less than half of what they now invest in advertising? How are we able to keep our clients on the air 52 weeks a year with great weekly repetition, in some cases for over 15 years straight? Well, it's because our volume gets us access to rates that business owners can't get on their own. It's because repetition works, our buying style is efficient, and our messages sell. Go to Anderson-Smith.com because we help small business advertisers get better results.
The arena we work in is where the rubber meets the road. If we don't get results, we're gone. Because with small business advertisers, any ad dollar spent counts. How many agencies can say they've kept small, locally owned businesses advertising 52 weeks a year for over a decade straight? How many have made shoestring budgets grow by over 1,000%? We can, because we get results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because it's time we grew your business.
Hey, WTMJ's Eric Vilstead here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
That's like the dumbest thing I ever heard. Yowza.
I'm going to release the Kraken.
Tell Mr. Speaker, I wish rainwater was beer.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
That's how we roll.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Just about out of time here on a Wednesday. Adam and Neil with you till 10 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News.
A couple of different events we've told you about that are going to be happening today. A little bit later on tonight, Milwaukee residents an opportunity to weigh in on the city's next budget. Mayor Cavalier Johnson hosting a budget hearing open house.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So this is at the Zablocki Library, 5 to 7 o'clock tonight. Again, residents can show up, give their input, what they think the city should be spending money on, what they would like to see in the city's upcoming budget for 2027. There's also an open house tomorrow night at Atkinson Library, but the first one is tonight. So again, and not trying to be a cheerleader here for the mayor or for the city, but when people get upset in the fall when the budget gets proposed, saying, "Oh, why is this not in there? Why are we spending money on this?" Well, this is one of your two opportunities to show up in an open house format to give your opinion, weigh in on what the city should be doing. But people might be torn at them because there's another thing happening tonight as well, if people want to go to.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Multiple happening today. It's because we got the Clydesdales. The Budweiser Clydesdales are going to be in the Deer District, same time, 5 to 7 tonight.
Oh, no, it's the exact same window, isn't it? What do you do? What do you do?
Now, I guess if you're really inclined, you've got to go see the pretty horses in the Deer District tonight. There is that other budget open house tomorrow, but maybe a bit of a competing event there, so it could be tough to choose.
Now, this is going to be in, what do they call it? The Deer Garden?
The Deer
Does
Garden.
everything have to be Deer blank, by the
I
way?
believe so, yes.
Is that mandatory?
I think at this point.
All right. Well, great. Special appearance of the iconic horses. And that is the right use of the term. I think that there's no argument there. I mean, the Budweiser Clydesdale, I remember seeing them. This was when I was a little kid. My family took us to Busch Gardens down in Tampa, Florida, and Clydesdales regularly in-house in Busch Gardens. And the line for the horses, I remember this vividly, longer than any of the rides. And there's a lot of rides at Busch Gardens. Line to see and pet the pretty horses longer than any roller coaster in that facility. So I would imagine, Neil, to your point, there are a lot of people there who would like to double dip tonight. And it's like, all right, how much time do I want to spend waiting in line to be serious for a minute? Like if the line is long and suddenly you're looking at your watch and it's 6:15 and I've been in line since 5:15, who knows? I mean, again, there is the other option tomorrow night. So I guess if we're parsing here, you could do one tonight and one tomorrow. It's not that deep.
And there's an option. The Clydesdales kind of doing a Wisconsin tour, I feel like. They're going to be at the Ozaki County Fairgrounds as well. I think they're up there right now, but tomorrow there's an event if you want to go see the Clydesdales. So I guess some options. People have some options.
Will they be offering Clydesdale rides in the Deer District tonight?
That I doubt, but that would be kind of fun.
9:56 on Wisconsin. And that is the end of that conversation. Shout out Uke. 9:56 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Out of time here. Steve Scafidi, Kristen Bry with you on point, taking lots for them to react to after last night's gubernatorial debate. Sit tight, Steve and Kristen, on the other side of the news on a WTMJ Wednesday.
Let's take the car and save the fares. We blew a gasket on the grapevine.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. We had so much fun in Mexico last February. My wife, Kathy Rose Gray, and I are going back again, and we want you to join us. This February, we're experiencing the